than starting. I don't take no L's, no I don't take no L's. These don't switch up quick then dip and never look back. I don't take no L's, no I don't take no L's.
Man, straight off the dub, a player ain't stopped since a player caught buzz. Haters wanna talk, so they gotta throw subs. I see them in the streets and they say it's all love, it's all love. I know better, I don't let up. I gotta get to it, I'ma go get her. I'm a go setter, need more fed up. They just wanna talk, I'm so fed up. No L's, no losses. I'm a beast on lock with lockness. Come around me, can't be too cautious. The boy been sick, been nauseous, you know what's up.
Switch up quick then dip and never look back. I don't take no L's, no I don't take no.
Let's go.
I get my checks then flip and double then starting. I don't take no L's, no I don't take no L's. These don't switch up quick then dip and never look back. I don't take no L's, no I don't take no L's.
Don't take no L's. Hey, don't take no L's. Win after win, I'm feeling like Britney, I did it again. I'm setting the table and setting the trends. I'm shooting my shot, I'm 10 out of 10. They can't compete, no I won't stop it till mission complete. Stay out the kitchen, you can't take the heat. I'm taking the dub, you taking the feet. Hey, it's no L's in a vocab. The white flag, no I can never throw that. 2012, I wanted it all so bad. Now all I do is win, better know that.
Switch up quick then dip and never look back. I don't take no L's, no I don't take no.
Let's go.
I get my checks then flip and double then starting. I don't take no L's, no I don't take no L's. These don't switch up quick then dip and never look back. I don't take no L's, no I don't take no L's.
Don't take no L's. Hey, don't take no L's.
Feeling like I just hit lotería. Mami, let's vamos a tu Costa Rica. Vive la vida. Oh, you ain't heard words, 6, 7 figures. Feeling like I just hit the lotería. Bust down, shawty wanna bust it down. Shawty moving like you just hit lotería. Living lush now, I just spent a couple thousand. Feeling like I just hit the lotería.
My pockets feeling tight from all these bands, you feel me?
I pity these, I fill them with dirt and I leave them a rose. I pick up a petal, a leaf in a leaf. Do you love me now? I guess you better go. I got a new pockets, it's lining no door. The hand it goes deep, but it's only for bros. If you walk a line, keep it 10 toes. If it's sending me the cross, then you get let go. Let the beat go bang, like a Kurt Cobain. If you know my cara, better know my name. Maybe red dream team, put the ink on gang. If you're still out east, do the same bang, dang. Mami, que tú quieres? I know that I'm looking sexy. Mundo lotería, now they young, I stay in flex.
Lotería. Mami, let's vamos a tu Costa Rica. Vive la vida. Oh, you ain't heard words, 6, 7 figures. Feeling like I just hit the lotería. Bust down, shawty wanna bust it down. Shawty moving like you just hit lotería. Living lush now, I just spent a couple thousand. Feeling like I just hit the lotería. I hit the corner store to grab my 40. Pulled up, just me and my shorty. Need me a pocketazo to get lit. Then I hit the lotto, might cop a whip. Cop a crib, cop a zip. Copping anything that boosts my confidence. Then I cop the fit that got me compliments. Now I'm starting to forget what being honest is. Head to TJ, tip the DJ. Tell him go play them slaps. Then in the boat out doing yoga. Working them hips, no cap. Tell me the vibe, then I key and bring it back. Took another tour around the feeling like I just hit lotería. Mami, let's vamos a tu Costa Rica. Vive la vida. Oh, you ain't heard words, 6, 7 figures. Feeling like I just hit the lotería. Bust down, shawty wanna bust it down. Shawty moving like you just hit lotería. Living lush now, I just spent a couple thousand. Feeling like I just hit the
I was born with the story. I was born for the glory. Through the heat and the rain, can't deny and ignore me. I'm bred for commitment, signed up for a mission. Yeah, it comes with the price. It's all in the description. My time has arrived. I can't hesitate. Nothing is in my way. Knocking down barricades. On a different type of time. Dreams are never late. From the jump, I'm the person you can never break.
Breakers! Nice! Come the on! Come the on!
I got the power, I've been working after hours. Seize the moment, I can back up all the cowards. Student of the game, looks like I ball at Howard. You can call
Nice!
I can be devoured. All I think is win. I can watch it in 2020 through the lens. When I fell off, I always had to try again. Got the code that connected like I'm signing.
Nice! Go! Come on!
Again, optic going deep.
Bro, this is
shot. They get 2v2. Send me No, he did finesse, and there is nobody better than this. Yes! 17. And 17. 41. Oh! It's on an
What the
We swear on. All right, well,
we're gonna do it the hard way. Nice, baby. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go, Lamar. Let's go, Lamar. Come on.
Welcome to Las Vegas, Nevada, and our Championship Sunday. Yes, yes, yes. It's going to be cinema later on today. But I heard that there's some rumors going around where there's some nerds playing sports today. We got some athletes here in the venue. Challengers Finals at the Michelob Ultra Arena getting ready to get kicked off. It is going to be an epic battle. Both teams have major championships, and it's just about putting that crown to cap off the year. I'm Chip. This is Study Jay. How we feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling fantastic. Like you said, Championship Sunday. You're going to be with the most energy you have had all throughout this entire weekend. You made it to the final dance. And both teams that we have in that main stage, without a doubt, can either one host that trophy.
Without question. One is a Major 2 champion. One is most recently a Major 4 champion. It's a lot of stories that we get to break down. But this has been an unbelievable year for challengers, period. And the teams that made it here to Vegas put on an absolute show. You take a look at the bracket overall, again, Omit, the EU version of the squad, making it all the way to the grand finals through the upper bracket. They took down the opponent of P7 Notorious in the winners finals. P7 Notorious will handle business. They got down to that lower final, smoked Team War in a 3-0, and these are by far, I would say, our most consistent teams from what they were able to put in Europe, as well as the most consistent team from North America battling for a championship.
Yeah, it's just crazy to see this Omit run. To start off in winners round 1, going up against the likes of the Telluride Bush Gaming squad. We know what that squad was capable of. They were your major 3 champions. You take care of them in 3, and then you go up against your brethren squad in Omit Brooklyn. Another quick series for them. They have been basically making easy work for all of their opponents so far up to this point.
Yeah, didn't drop a map in groups either, did this Omit team. So only dropping 1 hard point to this point versus their opponent in P7 Notorious. That's the breakdown of how we got there. Here is how we're going to handle things on the business today. Challengers Finals get us kicked off. Then, of course, we're going to get the Treyarch guys up on the desk to talk through Season 5. Trust me when I tell you they've got some stuff cooked up. And then, of course, the grand finale. FaZe from the upper bracket taking on their arch nemesis and the back-to-back world champs in Optic, Texas. It's going to get sick in here. I mean, last time we were in Vegas, it was like, what do? It was a quick 5-0 in the grand finals. We're like, let's go to the pool, I guess. I think we're going to be here for a while tonight.
No, without a doubt, man. I think every single series that we're going to have on that main stage has a chance to go all the way to the last map, because the caliber of players that are on that stage are at a very high level, and the level of just gameplay that's going to be so efficient on that main stage is going to be next to none.
Well, let's take a look at some of the players as both of our squads for Challengers are getting ready to kick things off, and starting with the EU counterparts of Omit. This has been one of the more incredible stories that we've seen in Challengers. Those that have been following should know Denza. He's been around for a long time. He's found a ton of success. Hasn't really had a chance to put his name on a CDL performance. But everyone else on this roster, for the most part, are brand new. DK, Ethan, first years competing. Ethan, most recently, pro in Rocket League. He's coming out as the KD leader on the weekend. Right behind him is DK. And then Aspect, this is his 3rd time making it to a Challengers Finals appearance in the playoffs. Now finally getting to the final stage of it.
The fact that this kid, Ethan, on less than a year of playing competitive Call of Duty, is having, without a doubt, some of the best experience in the world. Just get to Call of Duty champs and drop the numbers that he is. He's over a 1.2 in every single mode, and in Search and Destroy, he's a 2.4. There is no way in hell a guy with no experience is playing at this level, but he continues to shine.
And you can see just on this overall KD leaderboard, it's not just him and DK. Aspect, and his by far best Challengers year to this point, is also up there in the top. And that's just such a surprising statistic to look at, because when you think about teams that Denza's been on in the past, he's been the KD leader. He's been the heavy slayer. So for this Omit organization, they found themselves a younger squad, and it's worked out beautifully. You may have seen that little blip on the bottom. Omit has been, as an organization, by far our most successful one. 2023 Challengers champs, able to find themselves a win. Then the next year they get to a Game 7. They lose to Team Lore in this Challengers finals. And then last year they beat Omit Brooklyn. So both Omit teams in the finals. It was a 4-0 then. So Omit has been unbelievable. But on the other side, this Notorious team, whether it's Project Notorious or Project 7, however you want to kind of go, they combine together. They were at the Pro-Am, but they make a change here, Jay. Johnny is in, and he may be the glue this team needs.
Yeah, and these names and these faces are going to be very familiar for people who were watching the CDL from the beginning of the season. Eric Boomey hasn't had his chance to get back up to the top, but Snoopy and Beans start off the year in the pro scene and just get knocked down at Challengers with some unfortunate events happening. But now they are making the most of it. I think you just hit it on the head, though, Al. To go from Diamond Con, who's usually a slow AR player, to now mix it with a flex player in towards Johnny, it improves them overall in their respawns, and it drastically improves them in their Search and Destroy game.
Without question. We also talked a lot about when Snoopy was dropped from Boston, it was right immediately before the NPC came out. As soon as we got into North American Challengers Elite, we were both sitting there like, damn, Boston done messed up, because Snoopy has been electric. Total takeover. But on the other side, kind of to tell the story, Beans continues to float in and out of these lower level CDL teams that just aren't really constructed all that well. He gets thrown back into Challengers, and he consistently puts up numbers that look like this. He's been unbelievable as well.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, because looking at that S&D KD, you know what Benjamin Beans is always going to be known for. That's that snipe in hand. So leading his team in the KD department in that game mode. It's just going to allow him to have more freedom. You add an SMG player or a flex player like Johnny with Eric Boom and Snoopy. Oh, Beans is like, don't worry, I got everything in front of you guys. Just go.
Just do it. Do the thing. Let's get the freebies. No problems there. It's been an unbelievable Challengers year. Some of our top organizations have found their way to championships, and now it comes down to this best of 7. A number of repeats in here from when these two teams matched up in the winners finals in a slightly different order. Colossus Hardpoint was map number 4. Amit was able to take that 250 to 185. So in all terms, a pretty close game. Sake Search is new. The Den Overload is a repeat, which was a 5-3 in the winners finals. And the Scar Hardpoint for our guaranteed first 4 should be fun, because that was map number 1. That Project 7 Notorious was able to take by a tally of about 15 points. Where's your thought process kind of evaluating at least our first couple of maps?
I think both teams just showing respect to each other, because in that series last night in the winners finals, either map could have went either way. The only one that was the difference maker was that Colossus Hardpoint, and that's due to the way that Ome were able to win the previous 2 maps.
Sure.
Around 11 in the Search and Destroy, you were down 0-3 in that Overload, managed to come back with 5 straight scores. So what do you think that does to the mental for P7? You're a little bit demoralized going into that Colossus, so hopefully they forgot about that and they're locked in today.
Feels like it's just going to be a straight-up run back. Both teams feeling feisty. Both teams also ready on the main stage with Guy Blaze to give us our intros.
They are definitely ready on the main stage, everybody, and they have been chirping. This is Champs, and now we have to crown a champion for our Challengers Finals, as we had 16 teams come out here playing for a prize pool of $150K, and now it's time to see who's going to take the lion's share of it all. To my left, Project Notorious, P7, you got Beans, Snoopy, Eric Boom, and Johnny. Players who know this stage all too well, looking to take down the squad to my right. Omit, a team that has been in these finals so many times. You got Denza, Ethan, Aspect, and DK trying to show everybody what excellence looks like in Challengers and showing that they can take this series. Now the players are ready to go. Vegas, I know you guys ready to get the day started, and you all are ready at home. This is your Challengers Finals, and it starts now. Let's get it.
Project Notorious, CDL veterans on the stage looking for a bounce back. Amit, the more unproven but tested and providing the results you need as a bunch of younger guns underneath the wing. Kind of mother bird Denza up there. Should be a lot of fun. Before we get things kicked off, I want to give so much love to all the organizations that have participated so far in Challengers. These 2 teams in particular will be at EWC. You're also going to have another that has already qualified. The LCQ still to come. So some of your favorite players, your favorite brands are there. But throughout this entire year, Challengers Elite has been a movie. So just want to give a huge shout out to all the other commentators and production staff that's worked out there. Starting off with Dandro, Enigma. They've been unbelievable running a watch party right now. Spaceman, Gaskin, Stage 2, Proper Infinity Stage 3, and our boy Visions and Seymour in Stage 4. Plus, of course, our boys across the pond, Brycey and Ton, holding it down in EU. It's been a really, really fun year. It's an honor to be able to sit up here and give you guys the sights and the sounds as we cap off the season.
Yeah, we needed all that talent for all that we saw throughout challenges this year to keep up with. You got the vets, you got the young guns, you got some rookies making their first attempt at Call of Duty. So like you said, big shout out to everyone that was able to participate on this side. A lot of new organizations coming in. Hopefully they're here to stay. And the Staples still showing where they're at the top. But this battle between these 2 squads, there's no way in hell this is going to end in 4. This is going to be a bloodbath.
I think so too. Just especially knowing that we get 3 maps in a straight run back in our first 4. Feels like there's going to be a little bit of, okay, here's the mistakes we made. Just clean this little thing up. We should be in for some electricity here early to get this venue at least somewhat sparked as we look forward to the rest of the day. Other thing kind of about this matchup, it's, the ability for Project Notorious to kind of right some of the wrongs that have happened in the last couple of months now. Because you go back to the Pro-Am, they were right there, ready to upset CDL teams and then lose complete composure. Same situation unfolds when they eventually get to Paris, not quite getting the result that they want. It sparks the move to take Diamondcon out, put Johnny in. And it's just really funny when you talk about Johnny, because he finds himself in this position that feels like all the time. So go back to when he was given the chance in the CDL, he joins a team that was already out of the running for playoffs. So it's like, okay, short stint, not a chance to raise your stock, but to be somebody who can maybe turn around a team and win a championship, that would do wonders for his ability looking towards EWC in the future.
Yeah, I saw him able to put some tweets on the timeline this morning. He's so excited to get back on that main stage, to showcase his ability, potentially to open up the eyes for some of these teams attending EWC that could have a chance at making a roster change. You want to put your best performance right here, right now on Championship Sunday. B-Sport Josh. I used to play against this guy back in the day, and now he's teaching the game to some young bucks. He's got these guys locked in, fist bumps going out, maps about to start.
Absolutely the case. Other side of things, another quick little shout out, our boys at CDC Intel who have been giving us all the coverage on the backside throughout the entirety of the weekend. He's out there saying that, trust me when I tell you that when you watch Ethan DK, you're going to see the future of the league through those POVs. So bold claims, bold statements, but so far it has been backed up. What an unbelievable journey for some of the younger players coming out of the region that honestly, we don't often see a lot of pickups due to the logistics of it all. But now we find ourselves here in Vegas. City of Luck could potentially be turned into your favor with a huge crown leading into the end of the year. And we're going to get Colossus Hardpoint to get us fast and furiously kicked off, Jay. Oh, it's going to be a good one.
This is such a grade A bang out to start the series. A tone-setting map to dictate who is going to set it. But into the map number 1.
Here we go. Omit taking on P7 Notorious. It's a Challengers Championship. Let's get it on. And the opening first blood does go to DK. But keep your eye on what the SMGs can pull here for P7 Notorious. Not as much as you would be hoping for if you're an NA fan. Omit all over the hill early.
Yeah, and we've been casting challenges all year. This is going to be the first time I'm up close and personal with Ethan's gameplay. So I'm super excited to see what he can do with this NPC in hand. Already off to a 2-0 start. Make it 3-0. They're just dominating the sling. Another clean 4-dead with stature control. P7, slow it down a little bit.
Couldn't be a better start right here for Omit. Absolutely perfect in both sets of hits from P7 Notorious. Denza, the old man, trying to turn back the clock. Able to keep the hard point relatively contested as P7 Notorious is working on rotation. Ethan, good prediction, shuts down Johnny, and Omit will win the rotation over to 2.
Every time I watch this guy, at least from a bird's eye view, all he's doing is getting multi-kill after multi-kill. Off to a great start as Ethan as he finds another double on the OE. 7-1, 4 in a row. You're locking down the spawns here for your team. P7 look like they're a little bit late to waking up.
I'll tell you, that's one way to start, one way to absolutely set the tone as Denz is able to get to 3. Now an opportunity for DK to show what he's got. Lots of damage into a potential double makes it easy for Aspect. Ethan, the cutoff man. Follow up from Denza off spawn to try to contest this middle portion of the map. And through the first 30 seconds, this has been perfect for Omit.
Yeah, and if you are P7, now you are forced to commit through the front. Only 30 seconds remaining. You don't want to hit these long routes and potentially flip these spawns, but it's Aspect locating 3. That's going to lead to all 4 dead again. P7 got to make tough decisions now. Are we going to contest this final 20? Because we obviously don't want to give it up, but we need to set up at the new HP as well.
Oh my goodness. I mean, we've seen Denza snap, getting ready, get wild. He's showing that he can still hang it at this age, but behind that, Aspect and Ethan are not just hanging, they're taking over, and DK's just soaking up the hill. 71-7. Thank you for the scrap time if you're P7 Notorious, but the rotation battle is what's important, and it initially starts off with Eric getting into the hard point, but Johnny has to follow, and P7 have the numbers.
And they also take care of Denza, so now some space to work with because you're finding these kills if you are P7. And you get a good chunk of time to keep yourself into the mix at this HP. SMG starting to come alive. 2 for 1 in the trade. Fight's not going to allow Omit the advantage that they were looking for, but Denza's trying to set up on this pinch.
Eric over the top, lots of damage in. Gives the kill over to Johnny as Johnny and now Snoopy are trying to hang in from the front. And Snoopy says, well, you think you guys have any issues with the SMG gameplay? Any questions? I can handle it as well. Bean's trying to follow up, but it's Denza with the final double. 20 seconds to fight for. Eric on the pinch. A little bit weak, has to back off, value his life, but lots of damage to DK. And he wins the second battle. That allowed the rotation to start to come through for P7.
Yeah, that's big plays there from Eric Boom. Locates that double, secures this side of the map for his team. Because spawns in that situation tend to be a little bit sporadic, but keeping yourself in the game. A 40-point difference. You're trying to get this rotation. You're trying to chain this P3 to P4, but now it's all into the hands of Eric Boom. He falls. Omit have the back spawn.
Yes, indeed they do. Plus, they get a couple of SMGs to start to contest over towards the front. Aspect will fall. So will Ethan. Numbers now just down to Denza. He's trying to play his life. He's going to get one player to spawn up with him. That's Aspect. He's able to push off the play for the spawn flip. But inside the hill, P7 have done the dirty work. 38 seconds to fight for, and our team in yellow find themselves in the hill.
Yeah, it's a clean break, and now you have some trophies to potentially to use here. Trying to soak up this final 30 seconds. Long route still being hit from Omit. They want to get this time. They want to try to get P7 out of it, but the only one that finds a kill is going to be Ethan, but that's good enough to at least secure the back spawns for Omit.
Great presence and great patience from DK, just getting a couple of the tags, wait for your SMGs. And then it's all action. Amit looking to get past the 100-point threshold here early. Johnny able to find a double, opens the door for maybe one last hit for scrap time, but it's immediately shut. DK still hanging. Snoopy up and over will get a couple of seconds, but realistically, it's not that much. So P7 going to have to set themselves up for a P1 hold.
Yeah, now if you are P7, you're thinking in the back of your mind, we can't give up that P1 to P2 opportunity again this time around. It's only going to be easier because you have Trophy System trying to lock down this statue control. Trades going back and forth. Eric, Boom, and Snoopy, though, walking away with the majority of them, and that's going to be all 4 dead. Hard blocks going down. This is a moment where P7 can get themselves back in it.
And developing routes and opportunities for Eric Boom on top of that. Ethan opens up the hard point, but here comes Boom Boom. Able to find himself 1+ damage onto another. Should be enough for Snoopy to find the easy freebie, but loses track of DK in the corner, who turns that into a huge double. What a play from DK. Amit now with numbers, still fighting for the hard point, but also simultaneously able to scout out beams from the backside of the P2 spawns. Brilliant moment for Amit.
And if you're on P7, now you want to get this P1 remaining 15 seconds and also apply the pressure with chaining these 3 kills together. You're going to spawn 2 players from Omen all the way across the map. You need to win these gunfights because you have the advantage, but it's still Omit holding it down. A 20-point lead. They have the spawn that they can only continue to grow.
P7 working on the break. Hardpoint opens up, and a couple of kills come through from Eric Boom. We jump on in for our first listen in with P7 Notorious.
Nice.
Take your time now.
Got Charlie out. Take routes, guys. Take routes. I'm back. You're He's weak tunnel. I'm just waiting for you.
I think tunnel.
Yo, look at my inner right. Yo, give me tunnel though, Jen. I can help you. You ask it. One more, DK weak.
In front of me. I want easy tunnel. It's 10 killing. Watch it, 10 killing.
Nice. Yo, I'm getting good. Yo, get my
I'll get him. Four, left. All 4. They're banging.
One shot, Denza. Go. One go center. Yo, one center.
Go, Ethan, please.
Yo, he's close. Yo, on the right.
Rotate break. It has been one layer, not the second and the third for both these two teams, and we have that tight back and forth affair.
Yeah, it's a little antsy for the challenger squads on the main chase for the first time. But you still have opportunities to take a deep breath and lock it right back on in, and this is what Omen are currently doing. 25 seconds uncontested, and look how much layering they are creating. P7 are so far away from this time. By the time that they get there, they're fighting for 15 seconds.
If we get one trade, Ethan, the next one up, to find some damage. Pinstripe kill feed, though, allows P7 Notorious to reset, get some space to work with from the front, and then try to get this in the scrap time break. 138 plays 181, and it's DK and Denza to shut down the entire play themselves. Amit cruising towards that 200-point mark.
It's a flawless hold here. They're not blow the game wide open once again. A 60-point lead for Omid. Looking to potentially close it out in this third set. You have a chance to do it here at the P1, but you have to start off with statue control. Aspects get the first. Beans and Johnny combine for 2, but it's a 2-2 split fight, and it's still Omid in the time.
It's a big one right there for Beans on low health. Clears out statue. Forces Amit to either have to hit up the staircase or take long routes. Nade lands from Denza, though. That keeps the focus purely on the front. Have they missed the window here? As Amit trying to make the play around the back. No one was watching that hit whatsoever. Eric trying to clean things up over from statue side. Gets the first. Can't quite connect to the second. Snoopy, the last one left. Able to at least keep the hard point in contest. And that allows P7 to come off spawn and get right back in the hill.
Yeah, and they're not really focused on maintaining blue side for now. You want to get as much time as you possibly can. So 30 seconds here to fight for. First kill goes to Beans with the frag, and if you are Omen, how much of a risk are you going to take with this pressure? Because you're going to send it over towards Statue. Johnny's going to make you pay for 2, and now it's all on DK to try to secure this side of the map, and that's a big one-on-one at the perfect time. Omen maintain blue control.
With a little bit of scrap time also to come into fruition as well. Eric can't quite lock down the shot. The team nade essentially confirms his own trade. Aspect holding the rotation from T1, pops up, finds Johnny for free, and that's going to force P7 to take the long route right into the winning arms of DK, who only is able to find damage. Denza now the next one up in this defense of the spot flip, but he's able to take down 2 and keep him inside the time.
Now it's all on lockup. The clean 4 dead. You know where the pressure's going to come in off the respawn for P7. So you're layering over towards Statue. Ethan, another multi-kill, almost locates the third onto Snoopy. But that's another wave already shut down. P7 have to do a team push for this final attempt.
And it has to come from the front. They don't have time to make the play around the back. So now Aspect is the next one forward. He will find 2. 1v1. Denza taking on Eric over the top. Not quite going to happen. And Eric's double will keep P7 into this map and likely to see another hard point. Amit wanted to put the pressure onto the scoreboard, though. Looking like they're setting up for a break of this last scrap time. Ethan, route around the back. Beautifully played, mature routing. And that gets Amit now close to the finish line.
Yeah, you can no longer win here, so you're going to race them over towards the P3, and you're going to beat them to the punch. P7 have to go. You have to win these gunfights through tunnels. Snoopy, alongside his teammate, gets the better of Denza. So you're pushing Omid back. You're keeping your life alive.
All right, opportunity here. Last time we were at P3, P7 got a little scattery, missed out on the play through tunnel. A bit this time around, though, looking like they want to kind of split the focus in a 2-2 hit. Aspect trying to work with DK from the front. Ethan working alongside the long route from Aspect. Or pardon me, from Denza, who has made his way over towards the Godhead. He finds Beans on that position. Last couple of members for P7 are just hanging from inside the hard point. Snoopy will get you 1, but nothing more. DK now ironed up, and it's unbreakable. Not a chance to get through it. Beans able to find the nade, but P7 have to scramble. They have to sprint, and there's just too much to work through. Amit are on the board first.
A little antsy in the beginning of that game. Like you said, it was break, hold, break, hold. Neither team willing to lock it up for free. But then when you get to the end of that second half, what Omid were able to do at that P4, that basically solidified that map number 1. It was a flawless 60 hold. P7, I think, because you heard it in the listening, all right, make it scatter. We have players watching the cross. But in that final 5 to 10 seconds of P3, you heard Eric Boom, they are flooding. And the only one there to try to contest them is Johnny. He's overwhelmed with a 1v4 chance. And just Omid doing the fundamentals correctly, even on a map like Colossus, where sometimes you don't really have to think about the next play. They were always thinking about the next play, and that's why they take map number 1.
Yeah, and just on top of that, I mean, the number of moments where we've had, even Amit on a break attempt, still working off of a 4v3, they're very quick to put pressure on multiple points of the map to make the setup for P7 Notorious feel very, very feeble. So great stuff for Amit. That's definitely like marking the box and checking the boxes towards like, this is what the CDL teams do. This is how you maximize this map. And Mint were able to show that. Whereas, so I think for P7 Notorious, a couple of missed chances. I'm going back to that second P3. You've got full spread. You've got players on blue side, players on yellow side. Snoopy's in the hill. He's the one responsible for tunnel. Never scouts out the 3-man hit, and that's a huge break that really kind of opens up the map here for Amit to get back and take the lead in a very convincing way.
Yeah, you just can't have those situations go down. When you're creating all that space, you need to guarantee that your cut is being watched, because as soon as you fall, especially the player on the HP, that forces the guys who are creating those layers to back on up and potentially get bad timing. Just not super efficient was P7 off those rotations, but still a long series to go.
Yeah. But a good start here. And I think it just immediately gets set right off the get-go. But Amit's able to just wipe P7 off the floor and essentially 3 straight respawns. Definitely puts that right into your mind of, whoa, yeah, these guys are coming out hot. But I would say, like, considering how mismanaged the first rotation and a half was at Hills for P7 Notorious, they kept it scrappy.
Yeah.
I mean, you're still finding individuals who are making big plays to keep yourself in the game. But we talk about this all the time. At a certain point, when you get late into the hard point, you have to be able to rotate, you have to be able to hold on that first break attempt, and P7 just really weren't able to fully do that.
Yeah, they tried, man. They tried everything they could on that second set, because when you go to the first set, the P1 to P2 chain was way too much for Moment. Then you go into the second set and you right the wrongs there. You get the P2 to finally go your way. You get the kills off the rotation over towards P3, but then the money hill at P4. That is where you can't afford to die in those final 10 seconds, because you know how impactful that hard point could be on the map, and they obviously saw it. They couldn't get a single second off of it.
Colossus can turn into a bit of a blender. It's hard to keep track of where everybody is at one particular moment, and Amit able to create just a touch more chaos. Map number 2, Search and Destroy. Let's take a look into it a little bit deeper. It's going to be Sake. And I will say, you know, we've talked a lot about this map as it was brought in towards the CDL. Took a while for teams to figure it out. It'll be interesting, I think, just to see what the EU boys have in store for us, because it feels like kind of watching back over how they played in Europe, they were getting away with just being better. Yeah. Like straight up individually better. So now you have to kind of go into this one, fresh map. You haven't played P7 Notorious on it yet. With how good is the game planning to see if you can keep your advantage and go up 2-0.
I think if you are Omid, though, just the way that you came out of that map number 1 with the game plan of pressure, that can lead to success here on Sake. Ethan is the multi-kill demon right now alongside DK with that AR in hand, just keeping him safe. If you dominate bottom pick control, you're basically going to take Beans out of play. Because in Search and Destroy, he's at a 1.3. And the majority of those rounds, he loves to run the sniper. On a map like Sake, that pressure could be instantly in your face. So you have to make good decisions if you are Omid. Are we going to challenge him? Are we just going to invest in smoking in and just run at him? Those are going to be the game-deciding decisions.
I like that call. Utility efficiency often undersold in terms of how we approach it on broadcast, but increasingly important, especially on a large map like Sake. So here we go. We'll load on in, see what will unfold. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Vegas. I hear you up there in the rafters. I see you.
It's pretty early, man.
I'll say. And this is what you're talking about, though, Jay. Talking about KD leaders, it's a 1.3 overall, but this is a silly number. 2.3 in the search for Ethan? Come on.
77% chance at getting that first blood. That is unreal. He's basically going out there and guaranteeing his ones. And look at this initial play call from Omid. You're not expecting a triple push through rock for the first blood.
And Johnny's sitting here like, wait, no, they didn't. There's no way they just hard hit through rock like that. Beans will get you one back, but the round is getting a little out of hand. It's now down to Beans. He would have to go 1v3 for the ace. And he's got no bomb and 0 map to work with.
Yeah, Ethan just jumped right by him through the window. So now with 50 seconds left to go, Beans left to try to clutch this one up. He's going to gather information onto the first, shots onto the second, and now the double chow is going to come in. Good enough for Omid to dominate the first round.
What a mind game that opening round setup is right there for Omid.
I've never seen that play call to start off a map.
Not a single time, bro. Is that just good scouting? You just knowing that P7 is not going to even look at rock, or is it just brazen and bold young guns saying we don't care, we're just going to do what we want to do?
Yeah, they probably just sat there and saw every team that's ever played Sake, and to start off the map, it's usually about that mid-map control. Openings at rock are never going to be covered, so they take full advantage of it. A perfect play call there. To start off the map the way that you want, Ethan locates 3. His S&D KD only continues to improve.
Stupid numbers. Bit now on the attack. Small show of aggression through the A side of that for P7's defense in towards bottom pit. And now through it. DK backing up, trying to hold everyone back as the bomb gets planted at B. Will force the hand of P7 as Ethan takes a lot of damage from grenades. Snoopy now activated through elevator, finds one. Aspect trying to follow up to keep this play safe, but he's the last one left. He's tagged, and he will be finished by Eric behind.
Perfect pressure there from P7 to have that response. You take bottom pick control. See that Omid are committing on this early bomb plant. And with Beans just scouting through top mid. Throws his shoulders, connects on a frag, and then gives the comm to Snoopy. That is your time to go. That is your window. He flies on up through the elevator shaft, pops a double while Johnny on the pinch finds one. Perfect retake from P7 to tie the game.
And a little show of aggression for now Omid to have to consider when they get to the attack next.
This is what Sake's all about,
yes,
man.
Sir.
Just who's going to be the aggressors in towards bottom pit to set that pacing, to take away all that map control early.
It's mental chess, a little bit of conditioning. What does Omid want to throw out in their playbook here on the second defense? And more importantly, does P7 come out and throw a couple of nades here? Yeah, they will. No, instead they're going to have Beans sniping this angle to start. Quick aggression down through the bar. Eric is going to get some trouble here, only able to find a little bit of damage, and he trades as Beans swaps back over the M15. Help from Johnny, not fully there. Denza comes away with 2. Snoopy will drop, and everyone knows that Beans playing back at the spawn, or now they do. Wait for a little bit of help. There's the tags, there's the finish. Flawless round.
Just 4-man push from Omid. You try to make the adjustments for P7. You're expecting potentially another rock push through. But no one takes space up through the middle of the map. All of Omid just run it down off the bar line. Fly with the NPCs. Denza, the oldest player on the lineup, the vet for this team, said, screw it, I'm going to be the bait. And he finds a double to start that one off. Teamwork right now to Omid, next to none.
Clean defense for both teams, looking really convincing. And this is, again, what we were kind of leaning in towards. One of the biggest issues that teams have had with this map when it was first introduced is, what do we do offensively? Still the question. Very similar break off here for P7's defense. Through A, in towards pit, this time being contested as DK's up to hold over towards the bridge and help find Johnny for the first blood. And now Snoopy's in a bit of trouble. He's got to be activated to try to make a play to get this thing back, and he will find Aspect down low.
Still now a 3v3. Ethan has taken so much space on the opposite side of the map. He's not able to get out, though. So still in a 2v2, a minute left to go. Denza might be running into a wildfire.
Knife out, shots through, but Snoopy just...
That's the bomb.
Yeah, too much of a position of control behind that rock. And the bomb down, as you call, makes this very difficult for DK in a 1v2.
He saw both, though.
I think he did, yeah. There's confirmation onto 1. There's confirmation onto 2. But you still have to work through it regardless. You can't just avoid it. You have to take this fight.
Yeah, because the bomb is all the way on the opposite side of the map, so you're not going to stand a chance in thinking about the objective. It has to be strictly gunny. Only 33 bullets left in the M15. Got to choose when you're going to challenge it. They both line up. They both line up. DK, you're thinking he's going to stand no chance in that round. The bomb is all the way across the map. We don't realistically even have to force that jowl. But you go for it, you set up the 3-2-1 go, and DK takes the space on the opposite. You line them up, and they get their first offense off of DK, pulling off a miraculous clutch.
I cannot believe that both defenders give up their shoulders.
It's unacceptable, man.
There's no need to chow there. And a critical error gets absolutely punished. DK now on 4. Feels like a must-win round here for P7 Notorious, but DK's not done. He's able to get himself another double. Johnny tagged, still surviving through the smoke, and Beans is able to push off the follow-up hit through pit.
DK's on 6 in a row.
Yep.
So very close to earning himself a Hellstorm. It's just aggression for right now for Omen that is causing so many issues for P7. 30 seconds wiped away. Bomb's gonna be down towards top middle, and neither player from Omen are taking any risk.
No. Why not just use the bomb sites as your next alarm system? Here comes the slide out. Beans able to find 1. They know Denza's also here. And that's a call for Johnny to rewrap this over towards Rock. And I would assume hit the window to plant B, but instead they're going to try to play for the contact here on Denza. Pops up, and Johnny's right there waiting for him. Must-needed round comes through for P7.
Yeah, they just slow it down. Thankfully, Johnny was able to get through that aggressive play through top mid. He finds their 1 kill over towards their side of the lobby and then retracts back towards Beans to keep him alive and force the 2v2. You were thinking, Omen, no need to do anything extra. You have it all covered. You have to force P7 to get the bomb planted, but you overextend just a little bit to try to get some more information in the back of their spawn. Beans locates the first. Then they find the final kill to stop the bleeding.
Next approach for mid on the way. Ooh, different look here for P7. 2-2 split with focus largely over towards the bar. Lots of pre-fire, nades being tossed out, but have taken a bit of patience into play. Backed up, now an opportunity to collect on towards the information they found. Eric will be the first one to fall. Ethan pops up, helps out his team at a DK. And it'll be a 4v2, bomb gonna get planted, no problem.
So good. Out of Omen to adapt instantly once that pressure starts to pounce through the middle of the map. It's now to 4v2, you already have info now onto Johnny. Keep on solo at the time, and if you have a player like DK, you might as well commit for the ego, Chow. Finds another kill on the map, sitting at 9-2. And Omen keep that 2-round lead.
Yeah, and more importantly, again, with that little follow-up in the previous round for P7 Notorious, I say, must-win round right there because the first blood battle has not been going very well for them. Eric's been blooded 4 of the 6 rounds to this point. So that's something that's going to need to change here if you're P7 Notorious looking to change the narrative of how this search has gone. Because even though it's still a 2-round game, it feels like it's really, in firm control of how the map's being played.
Yeah, you're just giving them a lot of early advantages. You need to start winning those one-on-ones and stop putting your team in 4v3s. Still have time to turn it around. Beans with the snipe in hand. Watching the OE through Rock. Gonna swap at the right time and potentially catch a shoulder to spot out Denza. That's a little bit of information gain. Now you can potentially work through top mid.
And the stun doesn't hit, so Beans will be maybe a little bit second guessing if there's really much of a battle to be had there. Nade deleted by a trophy. Allows the slide out gels and checks from Ethan to continue to exist. And Eric is just trying to slink forward. I thought he maybe thought Beans was watching over the top of him. Not the case. Aspect follows up behind that for 2, and Beans, who's tagged, is going to get chased down. Able to win the first one for what had to be a 1v4. But tucking yourself into a corner, nowhere to go, no problem. Amit 5-2 up.
Man, these guys are dangerous, man.
Yeah.
They have different play calls in every single round. All right, we're going to be the aggressors this time. This time, we're just going to guarantee our space. But the fact that you're trying to play hide and go seek, or at least to act a surprise around that B bomb site with Ethan as the SMG, so much movement, catches the timing on the Eric Boom, and that basically solidifies the round right there. So P7 playing a little bit nervous in some of their offensive rounds, and it's costing them.
Yeah, that felt like a little bit of a miscomm right there, where you don't often see someone with the bomb slinking up towards the bomb site and not having an AR watching over the top of them. Especially knowing the trophy system is going to keep them safe from utility. Another possible mistake punished by Amit. Beans, sniper down, DK holding the long route over towards A. This has been a medium for P7 that they've used often on this defense, and now it's starting to be adjusted to. Snoopy in trouble, falls, Beans able to get one back, but it's a 3v2 for Amit.
Shots. Moment trying to just get together, but Eric Boom's able to still force a one-on-one. Still going to be weak from that gunfight, so Denzel's going to clean him up. And now it's all left up to Beans to potentially keep this map alive.
1v2. Plenty of time on the clock here for Amit to just kind of use to do whatever they want with. Obviously, the focus is trying to clear out potentially a post-plant location here at P2. Beans is going to wait for the bomb to be planted. If it ends up being at B, you'll have a real good chance of finding an exit and maybe being able to clutch this one up quickly.
Yeah, the more time that you waste, it's more beneficial for Beans. So he's able to spot out the players working good outside of the warehouse, and he's going to back him down for now. You know the bomb is going to also be planted, but he's not able to finish the kills. Omit close out the search and destroy. Go up 2-0 in the series. And they are just outclassing P7 right now.
Yep. I mean, it's just, in this search and destroy, absolutely. The amount of flawless rounds they put together is palpable. The first blood is what really stirred it all, though, I'll tell you that much. Eric falls 5 times as the first death in an 8-round game. It's 7 first bloods to Amit. So off the rip, game plan perfect, setup perfect. On the flip side, you combine that level of maturity, preparation, with the fundamentals that were showcased on the macro level on the hard point, and all of a sudden what we thought was going to be a really tight game between possible adversaries is turning into a mid-runaway.
And that's what we talked about before this map started. How impactful Beans could have potentially been with that sniper rifle, and how Omit were going to prepare for that. Whenever P7 are finding success in search and destroy, it's usually off of what Benjamin Beans can do in that first blood category. But Omit said, we don't care what weapon you're running, we're just going to run it down as a collective 4. And they had so many different strats that if I'm any of the pro teams, potentially Optic or FaZe, and you're going to play soccer today, I would watch that because there was a lot of play calls that were just unexpected.
Yeah, starting with the first and foremost defense. 3-man hit through rock, not something you see all that often. To be fair, there's reasons for that.
Yeah.
Stuns and nades are pretty much a guarantee, and often you're going to see an offense at least throw something in that direction, but not the case in that opening round, and it just felt like from there on out, Amit just held the mental edge through and through. 2-0 the count very quickly as we now start to look in towards the overload. It's just been tough because you look at the entirety of what this run has been for Amit. They've only dropped 1 map, and it was a hard point that we might see, obviously, at map number 4. So far, so good. Amit 2-0 up. We're going to head to a break. It'll be Den for the overload when we come back. Don't go anywhere.
to avoid another silver medal.
This is my time to go.
We wait, we push, we win.
Back-to-back champs.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Out of nowhere!
Unbelievable.
Back-to-back champs.
It's history in the making! Oh my God! It's over! Are the champions of the world! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Let's find out who's built for the big stage.
The Heretics ready to dive in. Lights 2. 4 and Snoopy. Come on, wants them all. But Hydra with the switch impossible. He's making top room. So damn happy. It's Sykes. Down a bruiser. Dominance on the grandest stage.
EWC right around the corner. Both these two teams guarantee a spot. Also, Team War at their third place finish. Shout out Mr. Kevin Pichardo back in the mix. And then, of course, one more spot that would be decided by a top 8 LCQ. But for right now, the immediate moment, it feels like the stage may be a little bit too bright for our former CDL pros because it's a 2-0 to the Young Guns plus Denza. I don't mean to do dirty Denza, but come on, we've been playing for 2 decades. Now an opportunity to completely wipe the floor. If they can come out and dominate this overload, we could be looking at a complete mental breakdown again for P7 Notorious, which is something that has faced them a lot at major championships.
Yeah, because you already played them on this map. So far, we saw what happened in that map number 1. It was the map number 4 in that series yesterday. It was not as dominant of a scoreline as it was, but you still got the W. And this time around, you dominate the search and destroy, so you have all the momentum. You have the heavy advantage. You understand what this team is going to bring here on Den Overload. And if they can't trade Ethan, if they can't trade DK, it's probably going to end in 4.
It very well may. These guys are shooting, but more Young Guns on the way. Again, shout out Team War. This is a squad that we really weren't 100% sure what we were going to get out of them because Flames, who's been to the league prior, really fun POV to watch, but finds a way after a very poor season, placement-wise, not able to find himself a team. He gets Icons, Nemi, and Vikram on a squad, and they have surprised everybody in North America. Kev takes a chance on these 4, and it pays out in a major way. And I'll tell you, JA's looking like he's looking like him, dude. He's nasty.
No, it's crazy to see that turnaround from that squad because I remember when they qualified for Elite Stage 4, they were Torn Esports at the time. They were the last seeded team to go through.
Yeah.
They go flawless in the groups to get all the way to the grand finals. You fall short there and get second, but then you go to the LCQ and you dominate everyone. We were able to have an interview after that, and he told us, he said, we're the best team in challenges. We're going to showcase it, and at least putting yourself in position to now compete at EWC. Big shout out to Team War, but also coming back into the league.
Absolutely the case. Lots of double-up representation as well here from some of our challengers orgs when we eventually get to EWC. And it's just really fun, I think, because like this is just kind of a consolatory conversation right now, kind of off to the side of what we're dealing with. But knowing as a challengers player that you have EWC at the end of the year, I have to figure that once again, from last year to this year, some of our challengers teams are going to make it through groups. Not just beat CDL teams, but make it through groups like we saw last year.
And we're probably watching one of them right now on the main stage. This Omid lineup, remember when they were in the Pro-Am, they were put into its optics group. They were able to also take a map and really give them a run for their money. But just now to see them in this form, they have been dominating the last 2 to 3 months of challenges on the EU side. They hoisted the Elite EU Stage 4 trophy. They won the Paris event. The team right now, extremely hot.
They're hot. Tell you what, man. We talk about a lot of teams, a lot of orgs that could find their way into the league or beat CDL teams. My guy Rafi needs a call.
Always, man.
This guy, since putting the mid names out in the field, like we said, it's been 3, now 4 straight years of making it to the Challengers Grand Finals. He's won 2 of them, and he's well on track to cleaning up potentially a 3rd. Rafi, you might be him. No, you're not, might be, you are him. Take a look at the overloads here so far through Challengers Finals, and it's not just 5 straight wins, it's 5 straight dominating wins.
So can they make it a 6th? They're going to spawn in on the preferred side here on Den. P7 need to answer the call in the slaying department. We need to start putting ourselves in advantages early on into the map. And it's Johnny already with connect to control. And look at how fast Eric Boom is trying to get, but he gets caught by Denza. And this is where Omen can set up this counter.
That's just such a nice little scale-up moment from Aspect. Kind of slips the net after P7 find the first blood. And what looked to be a good break-off for P7 immediately gets countered. Aspect now to the AR. Nice shot, but can't quite finish off Johnny. Back and forth we go. EMP still on the ground.
Yeah, P7 just need to maintain mid because they lost connector, so just can't allow Omen to retrieve this EMP and potentially get out. Johnny with a perfect corner, locates a double, continues to stall out this play, but DK on the opposite end is starting to play for these spawn kills.
But look at the spawners. They come up from B, trying to make a play over towards Dojo, and all of a sudden you're going to get a re-wrap over towards A. It's going to be a foot race. Eric going to be helping pistol shots do come through. Ethan now the last one to try to hold. He's able to win the gunfight he needs to. Snoopy not tagged by the Semtex. Follow-up from Denza, though, is there, and Beans can only do so much through couches. Good defense for a mid.
Yeah, now that's all 4 dead. Start to push forward up on the map. Gonna work it up through rooftops to take care of the pinch player and Johnny. And that frag also connects, but now your only lead blocker is going to be Ethan. He is extremely capable of finding multi-kills when Snoopy gets the better of him.
But I love this from him, because even though you do get that forward play from Ethan, simultaneously you're getting a route to open up from Aspect. This feels very Optic-esque when they play this map, and that's going to lead to a score. Den's able to get it through. Den, how about Aspect? On 5 in a row. Ethan still keeping the pedal down at middle, but Snoopy clears the field over through Dojo.
Now you got to push through Dojo if you are P7. Mid-map is currently in the hands of Omen. You also have players like DK, Volume in his life on the opposite side. Already finding 2 kills to go their way. Effective trade from Eric Boom and now Johnny. That's going to be 3 dead. Only player in front of him is going to be Denza, all 4. This should lead to a cap, but the only player that's going to grab the EMP is going to be Beans, and now Omen have a chance to get back.
Trying to throw shoulders as Eric Boom. Here come 3 of it players on the defense. Aspect, Ethan find the first 2. Snoopy will drop it, so will Beans. I get it because you feel like you're not in a position to go backwards to grab the EMP, but knowing your spawners are so far away, you need to reflect on that and go back and get the OBJ.
Without a doubt, because you get all 4 kills at the same exact time. So it's 5 seconds, so everyone is coming off the respawn. Just your teammates so far out of the play, it turns into a counter here for Omen. Slaying too much. Denza on 3 in a row. Reset over at rooftops and look at how far the spawns are for P7.
Oh, and Denza, who's been the mule for this EMP, puts himself on a little spree on the exit. He earns the Hellstorm and the immediate relay behind through roofs. It's happening faster than we can call it. P7 need to slow the game down, but they're not allowed to. DK with a huge double, and the EMP resets back to mid.
Yeah, we need to start winning some damn fights. This is getting out of hand. This is looking disgusting right now out of Omen. Potentially an opportunity here, though, for P7. 3 kills go their way. Your pinch player is a little bit too fast, so you give him that first blood. And now Omen in the 4v3 are setting up the pinch.
DK able to earn the trophy, but Eric's already done the damage to the opening 2. DK to drop. Flank trying to get there. EMP carrier will fall, but the kill from Beans will allow a quick grab and score. P7 on the board.
Now, how long can they keep this map control? Because Johnny is now into the mix for these spawn kills. Him alongside Beans already find the initial 2. That's going to be another 3. Make it all 4 dead. It's looking like P7 are going to come to life at the right time. Score number 2 is on the board. Minute 15 left to go.
And Beans is on 4 with a score. He may have a Hellstorm to counter. As Johnny keeps the play alive through rooftops. He's on 4 in a row. Beans not quite over to the kill streak. Very close. That kill will do it. Nice shots from Beans. 10 and 10. EMP still over towards roofs. Long route from Denza, but he's by himself and he loses the gunfight. Now it's about collecting and trying to score to get this to a quick tie game.
If you are Omen, we cannot continue to play like this. We have to keep our foot on the gas because you are allowing P7 to just run all over you. 3 kills go down, though, and the Semtex is good enough to get the goal line stop. 40 seconds left to go. Players like DK already creating space, but Eric Boom controlling mid-map. You're forcing Omen to take a longer route than they want to.
Beans big win, keeps the Dojo presence pushed back. Could potentially set up Eric Boom on the long route through mid. Finds the first, tagged up, can't get away. Snoopy now pushing over towards B. Forces a mid to have to try to escape over towards roofs.
They're on display.
They've got a lot of space to work with, but Eric will be up, has a trophy, could get the defense set up for the extra time if they need it.
Yeah, Omen is just thinking, all right, final 15 seconds. We want to be the team with the last attempt at a score. But they might not have that decision now anymore. P7 get all 4 dead. They're going to try to commit this at least to rooftops or at least draw Johnny on this side of the map to keep Omen on this side of the map while Snoopy creates space.
Snoop, no, not able to get the first win. Just down to Beans. Team kill does come through. It's a 1v1, but the pistol shots are not going to land. We'll exit the half at a 3-2 count. Brilliant bounce back at the bottom of the half there for P7.
Yeah, way to come to life, man, because Omid, first 2 minutes, already had 3 scores. You're thinking this one is potentially going to be done and dusted. But you whip out the extra NPCs. We start winning gunfights. We start getting multi-kills. And it's a perfect time to spring to life if you are P7. You do not want to go down 0-3, but you were able to manage on the bad side, only going down by 1. And now you know on this second half, Omid are probably going to slow down their aggression. And if you are P7, you need to capitalize with your aggression.
Yeah, absolutely the case. It's kind of like the opening hard point was, just cannot afford to come out slow in the top of the second. So good bounce back through. Beans able to earn that Hellstorm is crucial towards going resource for resource. It's just about execution, it feels like right now. So here we go, break off. All 8 players flooding over towards mid. Actually, pardon me, not all 8. Dens is gonna work on the early route through rooftops. And as long as the bitches don't get wiped here, he should have a chance to try to follow up on this play. A couple of tags are in. Beans trying to respond to it, and it's a big win for Beans, but Ethan off the respawn keeps the EMP neutral.
Yeah, that's all you want to do is just keep it dead center of the map, but once Ethan falls, you don't retrieve it if you are Eric Boom. But it's still Snoopy slaying them to bits. Snoopy low cage 3. Beans is going to invest this Hellstorm realistically. It's not going to really do anything because they are slaying them with the gunny. P7 tie the game.
But this is the big thing about it is you know where the spawns are now. Counter is going to come through from Denza, but Johnny's still making a mess of pillars. EMP has not activated yet. Eric able to dodge the Hellstorm, but Johnny, the lead blocker, has fallen, and we'll just kind of reset and play back through mid.
Eric Boom's trying to dance with this EMP. Beans locates a double through bottom mid. And now this is going to force Omid to rotate over towards B, but now you know the play's on the opposite side, and this is where you have to wait for Johnny on this pinch. He's able to find 2. Beans from the front finds a 3rd. You're just looking for the last guy, and P7 are going to be able to take the lead. I love this patient play, though. Allow your teammates to get over towards rooftop before you get this gap.
Careful, though. Don't want to lose your life here. Eric was low. But Beans 7 in a row looking for the pistol. Oh my goodness, 25-13, and he's gonna find kill number 9. One more off the reload? Maybe. No. DK able to shut down the spree. But the combo of Eric Boom and Beans, Biggie Smalls in the house right now for P7 Notorious as they take the lead.
You know, Frijoles is always gonna be on one, and he's always gonna provide the energy for the squad, so I can even hear him roaring from the main stage. 3 minutes left to go here on the half. Omid currently in control of the EMP and don't want to fight so many waves here at rooftops. Just trying to draw the attention on the opposite side, but Eric Boom finding a double. Now we're forced to commit on this roto.
And when you see Eric Boom playing with this type of confidence, that's when you start to say, yep, I get it. This is why teams have invested in towards potentially giving him a chance in the CDL. 25-14. Beans right above him at 26-15. Here he goes, trying to get active with the M15. Tagged up and over. Aspect with the third, then into a double. Eric in some trouble, but still able to find 2. Holy cow. But DK, he's got a window, but can't quite find a way through it. Ethan trying to follow. Able to catch Snoop out with a nade. Has tags to Johnny, but the EMP will move a little bit further away.
Now Ethan's just trying to finesse. You know, he's surrounded by P7 players, potentially could just apply the pressure and force him to be in an uncomfortable position, because now you're going to turn it into a counter. Aspect with the double. Omid get the tying score. 2 minutes left to go.
We've seen some undeniable doubles from everyone in the server. And Ethan, who's had a little bit of a slower than usual overload, is now putting the pressure on to see if a relay could come through. Denza right in front of him, and there we go. Another 2 kills come through. And just when you thought P7 Notorious were in takeover mode, it's going to be a lead with 2 minutes on the clock for a minute.
It's not even like Omid are outslaying them. They're actually getting outslayed and still winning this game. So the objective focus from Omid is stellar. 1:45 left to go. They are still trapping P7 in their spawn. Only one alive is Johnny. He falls, and that is 3 scores in a row for Omid to now be up 2.
And the patience here. You could stay here for an eternity if you're Ethan. You will find the score. Den's able to win over towards Garage. He's close to a Hellstorm. I feel like everyone and their mom has earned one in this map. Johnny and Snoopy able to find a little bit of rooftop control with those kills in the kill feed. Denza still working for that last bit. He will get an assist to get another Hellstorm. We did see one get called in for P7 Notorious, so they're down to one of their own. Minute 15, 2-point game, and it's a mid controlling the map.
And it doesn't matter what Snoopy is doing behind enemy lines because his teammates can't breathe off of the respawn. You eventually have to retract back. You have to put yourself around this objective because Omid is just going to grab this and go. DK rips Eric Boom. Aspect with the EMP, trying to slide it on in. Omid now up 3.
And not that you needed to show off the pistol skills, but we're happy to see it. up 3, 50 on the clock. And what looked to be a back and forth affair has now once again turned into a Omit takeover. Denza trying to get the Hellstorm in while the run towards A is on the way. It's going to be Aspect who's there, and he's able to find 2. EMP carrier down. Helping him is DK. Johnny able to find 1. Abit's defense now returning to the play, and they will overwhelm. EMP in hand, but Beans isn't done yet. Denz is still playing forward. He finds the trade, and with the time on the clock available, that will be map number 3. Amit quickly up and into championship point.
Yeah, P7, man. They were outslaying them. That's why they were able to find those 4 scores in a row. But then Omit just get one sequence, and it's that counter attack to just go from rooftops all the way back over towards the B site, and then once they get that catcher, their SMGs never left your spawn. That is so devastating if you are P7, because you fought tooth and nail just to get back into that game. But the closing moments out of Omit, the teamwork aspect out of Omit, and just the efficiency again. It's not like they're getting so many kills. They're just so well-rounded around each other. And when they are finding these kills, they are in sync. They are in teamwork. And right now, they're at point gaming the series.
And it's just like, I don't want to just throw this statement out there as kind of a broad blanket, but when you look back and think back to P7 Notorious, and I think in particular what they showcased at the Pro-Am, we're looking like, okay, these guys have what it takes. They're coming off of a Major 2 championship. They came off a very successful Season 2 and Season 3 Elite for that matter. You're thinking in terms of potential challengers teams to upset at the Pro-Am, P7 Notorious was team number 1 in everyone's mind.
No doubt.
They had a chance to do it, put together what could have been a lower bracket run of their group. You get to a map 5, you get reverse swept, I believe.
Yeah, by Paris Gentlemen, you're up 5-2.
Exactly, they were up 5-2. It's just like, you almost start to feel like P7 Notorious gets a little bit too lost in the kills and a little bit less minded on the teamwork aspect. And I say this is why this is so strange. That's something you would assume for 3 young guns, one of which was playing Rocket League last year, not the 4 guys who've been in the league.
Yeah, without a doubt, man. Those are mistakes that could come back to bite you. And this is the worst time to have it on Championship Sunday. On the main stage, in front of the family, in front of the friends. Dead center of the Michelob Ultra Arena. They just got to figure it out, man. You got to understand when and when not is the right time to chow, when we need to value our lives, because there's so many sequences where they're just going 4 dead. That is unacceptable, especially in a game more like Overload, because then you know the opposite team knows where all the map control is going to be and how much pressure they can put on you to keep you trapped into your base. Because Omit, once they got that capture, once they got that counter, they never looked back. There was 3 on the first half, it's 4 on the second. Too much right now for P7.
Unbelievable, man. And now they're just feeling it. No need to pop off and talk smack across the stage. The action is taking care of it for you. Repeat matchup for the winners finals here in map number 4, Scar Hardpoint. This was the map that P7 Notorious was able to win. Yeah, tight one though. And I think the biggest thing, reflecting on what happened in map number 1, we don't just need to rotate success with P7 Notorious. We got to hold some time when we do win a rotation.
Just know when you need to value your life, man. Understand on a map like Scar, where if I'm in a power position, if I'm going to go for the ego chow, I need to guarantee that kill, because if I lose it, then it's going to put my team in a very bad spot. It was a 15-point difference yesterday. It was the map number 1 in that best-of-5 series. They were going back and forth. But in the closing moments, that's when P7 came to life. Dominating that ending of the P5 to the P1 chain, keeping Omit trapped over towards green. Just got to simplify the game, man.
I think just on top of that, don't just simplify, make the game easy, but let's start to throw Amit into a corner a little bit. Put them under some pressure, because so far, they have been firmly in control from start to finish of every single map. So you just cannot afford to have that happen once again on this break-off. Because otherwise, it's just, one of those stories. You just zoom out in this particular matchup. Doesn't matter if you've got Barstool behind me. Doesn't matter if you've got some of the biggest watch parties and contenters behind you. You've got Amit, who's just putting together the right recipes with the right group every single year.
And I'm excited to see what these guys can do up versus the pro teams when we get to EWC.
Yeah. And we kind of saw a little bit of it, just a touch.
Yeah.
DK and Ethan were hanging when they were playing.
And that was like 1 month
of
Ethan
the actual
getting
gameplay.
off of Rocket League.
Yeah.
So now a couple more reps underneath your belt with the practice, with so much success to close out the season. When that squad gets to the EWC, I'm going to be a little bit shook if I'm some of these pro teams that potentially get thrown into their group. Because it's that unknown factor that so far here in Las Vegas has caught a lot of teams off guard. but you have a chance to basically enjoy the rest of the day if you can close this out in 4.
I just kind of hit me too. This would be back-to-back years where the Amit Org has won the final elite stage, won the final major, and then could clean up and dominate the championship of Challengers Finals. That would be insane.
Rafi knows what's going on.
Both
Big
regions,
Chalk
dog.
and Doug Sensor Martin.
Both
Everyone
regions.
a part of Omit right now. Playing willing Call of Duty, setting up the system, even with some new names around.
I tell you.
Still finding so much success.
It's a better scouting system than the Indiana Football Hoosiers. Shout out James Madison and Kurt Signetti, my man. Here we go. Jump into the action. P7 able to find the opening first bloods. This is what we wanted to see. Let's generate some time. Let's build a little bit of an advantage, and let's get a little turn on as well from Stu.
Now you can keep them trapped over towards green. This is what P7 was so good at yesterday. But Ethan on his first attempt, or at least Aspect on his first attempt, he finds a double. First time this weekend where the scoreboard is not going to be treating us nice with player 196, but doesn't matter because P7 are dominating in the KD department. All 4 dead, 20 seconds still to play with at the P1. Omid got to come to life at the P2, cut their loss.
Yeah, this is just exactly what the doctor ordered right here after P7 Notorious. Just kind of shake things off, come out, play your game in map number 4. Even if it's delusional confidence after what happened in the first 3, just play your game. And if you start to find success, then if you can get to a map 5, you take your break, you reset, you get back in and start to put together the comeback. But Amit have control of the blue side of the map in those final 15 seconds. They'll get to P2 first.
Yeah, now if you are Ethan, AR in hand, stuns and nades connecting. The region is about to come in. He's still able to find a kill. And now you give your team the advantage to commit on these fights, to commit on these chows. Last man standing is going to be Aspect, and so far, Omen still holding.
Shots from Ethan, able to find Snoopy off the wall bounce. Eric Boom able to get over towards Jens. Denza hunting, able to find the kill. One more up top. But the kills come through here for P7 Notorious. That will wipe the floor except for Aspect. But we'll be able to win a gunfight up top. That's not insignificant, especially considering that Amit have gotten, I think, a bit of a read on Snoopy's pinch timing. Or maybe not. Snoopy still hasn't gotten activated yet. He will find 2 in P7 Notorious. We're going to take the scrap.
Now potentially some slip-spawn opportunities for Omid. Denza going to be over towards green. Johnny getting the read, and now you clear out this side of the map. You know all of P7 are going to be having this on lock. Final 5 seconds going to go over towards Omid, but P7 do exactly what they need to. They're going to win the rotation over towards the money hill at P3.
Got to be careful, though, because Snoopy's position is going to move the spawns around just a touch. If he wins gunfights, it's not going to matter, and he does. Big double from Snoop, 6 in a row. Working for a Hellstorm. Good read on the split spawn situation. Has him on number 7, not quite number 8. Just a touch short from the Hellstorm, and with a nade over the top, Amit now have numbers to try to break into the time.
Yeah, and they also have pressure coming through mid-cut, so
big pickup.
Everyone whipping out the M15, knowing that this hill is going to have long-distance gunfights, and that's going to lead to P7 lighting it up again in the kill feed. 30 seconds remaining. Omen have yet to flip out towards the backside of green, but if you give P7 a sequence of kills, they're going to apply that pressure and spawn you out behind.
12 and 4 for Johnny, who has been littered with hit markers, nades, stuns, everything in the kitchen sink. Eric on rotation, able to catch one with a nade out, but the 3 kills for Denza. And Amit will hold off the rotation pressure for P7 Notorious and get Denza a little bit further up the map now.
Yeah, now P7 have a lot of breathing room, up by 60 and still going. Have some time to work on these routes, but you're not expecting Denza to be pushed out that far. It's going to be all 4 dead off the rotation. And just the positioning that Denza is in, you're spawning everyone from P7 over towards Motel. They're already contesting toward the back, and they instant flip.
I was about to say, this is a big setup for Amit if they can stay alive and hold those kills. Aspect little 2-turn. Throws a little love tap over to Ethan. Both players will drop. That is a very quick break for P7 Notorious. Denza try to make up for it, not able to find the second, and Amit will have to try to break from the front.
So far, P7 are playing this one perfect. No one forcing gunfights that they don't need to. They are finding themselves in so many early advantages, and this is another one. 3 for none in the trade fights. Last man standing is going to be Denza, and he's going to be pressuring towards the back, potentially flipping them out.
Yep.
That's beneficial for P7. You would gladly take it.
The problem about this is there are a stretch of kills that are really clean, so Amit, even though they will kind of have a weird spawn situation, they can still contest the early rotation for P7 Notorious. Still about a 90-point game, though, as we rotate over to 5. It'll be Denza in the hard point first, and they do scout out the player in the back for P7 Notorious. First good moment of the map for Amit.
They just played 2 spread there for the 2 players off P7 who got blessed with those opportunities over at the new HB. Been able to capitalize off the roto. Now 45 seconds still to play with. So much pressure right now from Omid throughout the middle of the map, but they lose those players around the back line, so P7 flip it.
Oh, but Ethan just takes away the lane. Finds the first, wants the second, but Eric shuts it down. Trade from Denza on another 3 spree. Help on the way as DK can assist over the top. Position at green though for P7 Notorious, still spawning behind the hard point, but looking to try to hit a route through mid. This is taking time. Denza, who nearly had the beat onto Snoopy, will drop. Last one left will be DK. He will fall. Scrap time goes to P7 again.
And so far, this map right now is playing out exactly how it went yesterday. P7 came out the gate swinging, dominated majority of those rotations, but whenever Omid needed to have it, P5 was usually their safety net back into the game. A 50-point difference. Trophy system now into play, and it's a battle for blue control. Ethan not able to be prepared with the knife, and P7 should be able to lock down early time.
Yep. Aspect also drops, only finds 1. P7 with the time as mentioned by Jay, now looking for a little bit of map control to stifle some of these hits. Big win from Ethan off the spawn. Johnny, next one up inside the hard point, gets the read on the cross, but he's getting stunned. No trophy system to keep either of these defenders in the hard point safe, but it doesn't necessarily need to come through because the kills are there first and foremost. White time so far on the hill, but P7 still controlling the numbers.
Yeah, Omid can't get out of this green trap.
No.
We have to hit the EOE, we have to hit these long routes and potentially set up these pinch line of sights. So we're just gonna commit everyone through the middle of the map. So far it's been shut down not once but twice, and that's given P7 more of a lead. Only 20 seconds left to play with here. Omid finally able to break out of that spawn trap, but it's only for 10. You gotta beat him to the punch at new.
And Snoopy needs to make a decision here. He's got an M15. He's also the only player who could potentially contest blue. He's able to find one, avoids the trade initially, and is able to get the pistol out for a second. Good trade through the middle of the map, but Denza will be traded in his own right. 160, playing 85, nearly double the points as P7 are holding P2.
Okay, this is the P7 I was waiting to see. Finally coming to life. Might be too late, but at least for now, you're still showing signs. 170 and counting. Omid still trapped over towards blue. Eric Boom finessing. They got trophy systems that are going to make this a little bit easier. The frag is going to get invested. Doesn't find a kill, and at least for now, Omid are in.
Yeah, if there were to be a spark to get this comeback going, it would be right here in the next 45 seconds. The 30 on the old time and the rotation over to new. Denza, middle of the map, able to take down a couple. Long-range shots are clean from Denza. Now over the 100-point mark, should go Omid. And it's going to be DK, the AR, watching the crosses. Notorious are actually going to try to commit for this scrap time here. They're going to have no pressure on rotation.
Yeah, I understand the leader's advantage, but we have to make sure we're still doing the fundamental aspect correctly. At least set one player off the rotation, because Omid going to soak up this final couple of seconds. Just keep on cutting down on this deficit. Snoopy beats him to the power spot, though. He has playing heady. He has a pistol. He finds a kill. Get your trophies down. P7 into time.
And this is where you can put the game out of reach if you're P7 Notorious. Do they get the read on this play through mid? A couple of kills here for mid. Snoopy turns, not able to find the last player at mid. Beans will also drop. Very clean break for mid.
Spawn is scattered. It's going to be very difficult to read, and it's also now going to be even more difficult because Johnny finds an impactful kill on the bench. So that's going to be all for dead. And P7, no, we still have those green spawns, but this is a good 30 seconds that we really want to get.
Yeah, that's a really big net 30 right there. Instead of it being a 140 to 170 game, now you're looking at possibly 210 to 118. And the kills continue to keep on coming, and they don't stop coming for P7 Notorious. 4 in a row for Snoopy at 29 and 18. And here's Johnny. Now at least putting some pressure on the rotation to stifle the play from a mid. But the daylight between P3 and P4 right now is feeling really lucrative for P7.
Yeah, this is their opportunity for Omid potentially to stop this bleeding. Can you find these gunfights off the rotation, potentially spawn behind enemy lines, but you see the hard blocking play coming in from Snoopy. He's soaking up the hill, he's pre-aiming the back spawn, and that doesn't allow Omid that quick opportunity right back on in, but at least for now, they got the spawn.
This is the game right here. P7 can find a way to lock up this P4. But a bit, giving themselves a bit of a lifeline. DK holding up top on the roof, able to get some damage and a couple eliminations, making life a little bit easier for mid players coming off spawn. They know that Eric's playing somewhere through mid-map. Good read on the rest of the contestants over towards red, but as DK falls, it's on to Aspect to follow up, but he tries to trust the pistol, not gonna work. Denza, last one up alive, tagged up, good bait and switch, and P7 will break.
Yep, it's a good 20 seconds to always get. Keep that lead nice and comfy. Force Omid to make decisions. Are you gonna contest that old, or are you gonna play for rotation over towards new? They're sending all their reinforcements through the front door, and P7 are prepared for it. 3 kills go their way. This is where you push on forward. You're gonna spawn one player behind you. And now you have the advantage off the rotation.
Win the first set of fights, you win the map. You go to break, we talk about map 5, but we reset what could potentially be a big reverse sweep. Snoop over the top. This is his opportunity for the first and gets punished for it. Amit will get to the 150 mark.
Yeah, this is their hard point. Whenever they need to figure it out, whenever they need some good time to get back into the game, this is usually their go-to. So much layering being created, but Snoopy and Beans ripped them off of these head glitches. Now you can reign supreme with the stuns and nades to continue to push them back.
And this is just staggered spawns coming through one by one. Beans on 4 in a row. Able to get inside the hard point, deletes the trophy. Reed up top, a little bit delayed, but the rest of the SMGs are here for P7 Notorious, and they will win out the battle. Aspect, the last one to try to hit this. Damage onto Snoop, who just puts himself into a corner, waits for help, and he will receive it. Another moment that felt like Amit was right there, trying to get this game back towards more neutral terms, but instead it's P7 fractions away from a win.
And now they're back to their not happy place. Trapped over towards green. P7 with full mid-map control, only need 10 seconds to force an extra map in this series. Kills going down, though. It's not going to be as clean as it was the first 2 go-arounds, but it's still Snoopy on time.
Yeah, the AR is just straight up gunning right now.
Yeah.
P7 Notorious, every single person who's running an AR is more than positive. Snoopy looking for kill number 40. May not have enough game time to play for it as 250 hits the scoreboard and P7 Notorious are on the board.
That's more like it. A couple of applause coming in for P7 by just staying alive in this series, not getting 4-0'd. But the gunnies were hot, the ARs were untouchable. Everyone laying down the damage. You control the majority of the fundamental aspect of the game. The only time Omid ever had opportunities was at that P5, but just what P7 were able to do for not 1, not 2, but 3 different P1 HPs in this game. It's got to be frustrating if you're Omid. You could never get out of green.
No, not at all. And again, I know it's just like a flat out first-person perspective on one series of COD, but all of the chaos that was created by the SMGs on Colossus for Amit, you switch up the map completely, and it's P7's ARs that never allow Amit to get any space to work with. That's the big key. I mean, flat out, again, looking at the scoreboard. Johnny's running an AR most of the time. Snoopy pulls out an AR most of the time. Beans, of course, you know what you're gonna get out of him. Eric's the only one really running loose, and he's mostly sitting in the hard point with an SMG. He gets 11 objective kills for crying out loud. So really good structure for P7, and another moment just kind of zooming out from how do you win and lose a series and focusing on the individuals. Great flexibility showcased by Johnny and Snoop.
And now I feel like P7 have a lifeline that they could work with.
For sure.
The rest of these maps, to start off with this sprint search and destroy, this is where Beans can have impact with this sniper. These gunfights aren't going to go down in the first 5 to 10 seconds, and if you're able to push through, then you know that Omid are going to now start feeling the pressure. You can see that P7's gunnies are warmed up, everyone firing on all cylinders, and it's a perfect time to come to life before you roll over and die.
And I think just on top of that, to keep that same thread weaving between the hard points and the search, you think back to the Sake search, again, it was the SMGs that were creating the first blood advantage.
Yep.
You're not likely going to expect you're going to get that from Fringe all the time, not just because of the sniper rifles, but because ARs can lock down lines of sight so cleanly. So this series, even though it's 3-1, it's been 3 convincing map wins in a row for the side of Amit, is far from over, because then it's exposure overload and a Hasi search, which could get crazy. Gonna take a small break. We'll come back and see if P7 Notorious can keep up the pressure and keep Amit at arm's reach. It's gonna be Fringe Search and Destroy for map 5 after this.
Let's find out who's built for the big save.
Heretics ready to dive in. Thanks, Tim. 4 and Snoopy. Come on, wipes them all. But Hydra with the switch impossible. He's making top room. So damn happy. It's Saints. Down a bruiser. Dominance on the grandest stage.
major pain. I've been through hell and back, I wouldn't change a thing. They tried to hold me down, so I went and spread my wings. Devoted to my craft, cause it's my everything. So if I want it, I'ma get it, that's by any means. We ain't even gotta talk, yeah, just get into it. Started music as a kid, now we started movements. You can't master grind, so tell me who you think you fooling. This passion flowing through my veins, I can never lose it. Cause they keep speaking on the name like I ain't changed the game. So I had to come through, I had to save the day. We always moving forward and it's at a steady pace. If we go to war, I'ma feel just like a major pain. Like a major pain. Feel just like a major pain. Like a major pain. Feel just like a major pain.
Welcome back to Championship Sunday in Las Vegas, Nevada at the Michelob Ultra Arena just outside the Mandalay Bay. We've got ourselves a potential battle on the line now as P7 Notorious come out a little bit slow. 0-3 in the map count to admit. They finally find a chance to get themselves going. A convincing Scar Hardpoint now has us looking at the map. 5 Fringe, Search, and Destroy. Tell you what, all you need is just Beans pop off.
Yeah.
That is win condition by itself, let alone the fact that, again, the dynamic of this map compared to Sake, very different.
Yeah, he couldn't do anything with that sniper on Sake. And that's also due because he couldn't see anyone because they were already in your face by the time he turned that corner. Omen was just way too fast, playing off the momentum that they were able to gain off of Colossus. But P7 coming to life. The second half of this series, the maps that they want to play are right in front of them. And Fringe is standing here to potentially force this game number 6. You just got to get through this one.
I think the other side, too, about this map is, like, yes, you have the ability of pulling a scope off the rip and changing if you want to, but you're not necessarily going to be punished if you do decide to keep it out the entire way, because you can set up your playbook around it. And kind of on top of that, I'm thinking back to, like, when Beans really first started to pop up on the scene, Modern Warfare 2, sniping on Embassy and Hotel. Early on in the Challengers year, I was scouting this guy, and I was like, he is going to be a problem if he gets the CDL. And so far, he has been, at least in the way of being one of the most notorious snipers that we've seen in COD. Little action here for P7 Notorious, aggressively playing over through the A site. Admit we'll have a little bit of a whisper about this, aware of it, and the stuns will reveal it.
So far, no information gained, but only information now is in the hands of P7. You trap them in towards Bricks. First 2 kills goes your way. DK and Denza trying to clutch on up, and they're just finessing on the outside of the courtyard. But it's going to be a 1v3 for the vet.
Yeah, really good idea there for Amit. Just the execution gets a little bit hindered, largely just due to the fact that the play through Bricks is red, and then you get stuck shooting your teammate. Almost a chance to double down right there, but not going to happen, and P7's aggression pans out for the first round.
Yeah, P7 just doing their homework. What's the more difficult bomb site to retake? 100% the one in towards Bricks. So you send a double stack on that side of the map. The player that's sitting at top horn has got everything covered through mid. And as soon as he throws that shoulder, spots 2 players jump through the window. All the arrows on the side of the P7 turn in that direction, find the opening double, and eventually find the opening round.
Indeed the case. 2 kills in the round for Beans. Snoopy for the first blood on that play that was developing over towards Bricks. But big shutdown on a cheeky idea for Amit in the opening round. Saw them playing with a lot of aggression defensively, Amit, in map number 2. Beans not sniping this time around, just going to scout towards top barn window and let the play develop afterwards.
Yeah, if you're Omen, you're probably expecting Beans to be sniping, so not even going to risk throwing a shoulder at top barn. It's already been 25 seconds knocked away. P7 have yet to take any space, and Omen have yet to budge on their setup.
And Johnny going to give a little bit of a look here. Nade, not really fully cooked up. Chance to run away from it, stay safe. Denza right here to help out Aspecto defensively at Junk. And P7 Notorious, we're going to commit. First blood for Johnny, follow from Eric. Perfect on the execute 4v2.
What can you do if you are Ethan? Not able to finish your food on the first kill, and that's going to set up Eric Room to rip you off the head glitch. 1v4, this time up to DK. You stand no chance. P7 with this slow and steady wins the race, and then extremely fast when they explode on their play call. Is catching Omid off guard 2-0 quickly.
Yeah, and honestly, that's a round right there for P7 Notorious that doesn't really develop off of much information.
No.
But knowing that there's a little bit of a limp nade tossed over through tin, you know that it's someone close.
Yep.
Yeah, so you say, okay, we'll just go ahead and take that shot with all of our numbers and know we have naturally a gun advantage. So all it takes is the slightest bit of intel, and P7 able to capitalize on it, run through nicely, and start off 2-0 up.
When Omid were finding success in Search and Destroy, it was with the aggression. But you don't really have opportunities to do it here. Ethan tries to on this round. And this is the round where Benjamin Beans is watching one of those angles that you're not expecting. No. First blood again to P7.
Aspect able to get the secondary set of eyes onto Beans. Denza through bricks. He's your bomb carrier. Big win there. Johnny not able to assist on the defensive reposition at A, I'll say. Denza now, next one forward, able to catch Beans on the slide. One more over the top, Denza. He's gonna see both. DK right there with the pistol out. Flawless round for Omid.
What a clutch there from Omid. That's a round that you can't throw away if you are P7. You got the first one in the first 5 to 10 seconds. You knew where the play was going down, but instead of allowing Omid to think about getting it planted, you force these gunfights. I would really love to see how DK was able to find that kill, because he rips him all the way from the backside of the opposite spawn point. Makes it a 3v3, forces P7 to be a little bit shaken up by that one. And then clutch up into 3v4 is Omid to get their first on the board.
Look at this. 3-1 split. Ethan just going to try to provide some distraction at mid. Rest of the mid committing to playing over through trains here. The only one really watching for it would be Eric. He's already had a couple of shots sent his way, and he's not interested in looking for more of those.
And Snoopy's going to be able to take some space in towards Brick, but he is going to be scouted out. So Omid have forfeited all of the space in towards Brick. Still putting down shots, but P7 have an understanding no one is in the vicinity. Let's just get it penned.
And I'm interested to know, has Eric gotten any read of how many players were initially over towards trains? Because, yeah, you have to be cautious of what could potentially be on the flank. Instead, it's been right from the front. All 8 players still alive and kicking, but the pressure on the bomb is definitely established. Here comes the potential check. Snoopy trying to work this out with Johnny. All of them in, looking for the secondary challenge from this post plant, but P7 is just hanging. They're just hanging out. They're waiting for Omid to make the first move, and it's going to work out. 3 in a row for Denza through this, but he's now the last one standing. 15 seconds, and it's just a junkyard littered with P7 defenders.
It's just an impossible retake. If you are Omid, if you don't get that first kill, it's difficult when everyone was just trying to put down shots from one doorway. There was no pressure on the pinch. There was no pressure through the backside of the alley. It was already 20 seconds wiped away. So that forces your hand, that forces you to overextend a little bit. And that's exactly what P7 wanted you to do. 2-round lead again.
That's so big, though, that, like you call P7, who could have felt threatened to be stuck at Junkyard, because, again, 3 members from it towards trains. Then all 3 members of the map in the middle of the map. Like, you have to be worried about that flank, but as soon as P7 finds that first blood, it alleviates that mental pressure. Allows them to get their 3rd round. Quick action here over towards the front side at ADK. Guns up, trying to play a little bit of a bait switches. Johnny and Snoopy. First shots will come through. Both players up the drop aspect. Does get traded up. Beats playing from over the top. We'll keep this into a 1v2 for Ethan.
Yeah, that's just beautiful teamwork. Ethan is going to be hit with a stun. 1v2. Potentially he's going to get lost.
Good slide through. But once again, the long-standing duo of Eric and Beans going to trust that cohesion they've been able to build over the last handful of years. Ethan's got space, but what do you do with it?
Time is ticking away. You just want to try to potentially spot out a player on the side of P7, and I think that was a good enough shoulder to realize that playing in towards the junkyard, but can he catch Eric? Boom, he's going to turn it into a one-on-one.
He's getting a little skittery right there, P7 Notorious. Ethan, oh my. This is a bold call. Beans head on a swivel. Here comes Ethan trying to work his way into the side. Oh my goodness! What a snap from Ethan!
That is an unreal read out of Beans' positioning. The fact that Ethan is able to force these 2 one-on-ones, another situation where P7 can't afford to throw away these rounds. Force him to beat you by getting it planted. But just the fact that this kid snaps like that, Beans is probably jaw dropped. I just got shotgunned. The new kid on the block gets the 1v2 clutch. Omid get their second round.
That was unbelievable. Now all of a sudden, quick aggression from P7, just trying to shrug that one off quickly. Smoke the back off the box side of B. But amidst defense, are getting some aggression. Beans may have seen this. He wants revenge, but he's going to get naded, tagged up. Ethan able to find one, still alive. Snoopy trying to return back, and Ethan's able to find himself a second. Snoopy finally for the trade, but the play is shut down. Snoop's got nowhere to go, 1v3. He will get back to full health, but yeah, this is just so tough. Going to rotate right into the waiting arms of Aspect. DK holding the line over through Trains. And it's not going to happen here. Big response from it.
You give that guy a 1v2 clutch in the previous round, like the way he just got it. He's got to be going into the next round with the utmost confidence. No hesitation on that flank route. Ethan understood where the pressure was coming in. Teammates letting them know through the communication. It's over towards Trains. Flies for the first. Catches the second for free. And that's all that is needed to secure the round. Tie game.
How does somebody go from working on inverted Rocket League flips to understanding timings on Fringe, a map that's been around for 15 years this quickly? I don't understand.
Going from goal all the way to one shot or dead. That's a totally different game.
Ethan this time shuts down Snoopy for 2. He's pretty healthy as well. Denza can't find the trade. Defense scrambling to try to give Snoopy a bit of an exit. A little bit of reprieve from the front line. Denza tagged down to 1 bullet, stays alive. DK, now the last one left as Denza eventually drops. Free fire, good for the first. Pistol out, gets a little bit of damage with the second, with the long flank from Johnny. Will force DK to have to put something special together, and he's not going to be able to do it.
Yeah, and that's just a round that P7 love to have. They shut him down when they try to beat the aggressors in towards the junkyard, not once, but now twice. A perfect blind counter to have everyone roaming around that bricks area. First clutch, a majority of this map consistently keep on going P7's way. It is 6-1 in the category, but Omen only down 1 still.
Yeah. That's huge too. I mean, considering we talked about what happened with Sake, the SMGs from it were just running it down, finding quick first bloods. P7 could slow this map down, trust the rifles, trust the scopes. And that's been mainly their big key to success right now. But like you mentioned, haven't been able to finish off the perfect conversion. It's still a tight game. P7 going to show a little bit of pressure through mid, trying to get Snoopy up towards Bricks. Good read onto Ethan. First blood there. Double smokes from both teams coming through here, and that will lead to a reset 4v3.
Yeah, and this is going to force a repositioning from Aspects. Going to let his teammates know potentially the play is going to be over towards B, so Denza goes from mid, back over towards the junkyard, but as soon as he retreats from his teammates, the pressure is on him. Another 4v2 here from P7.
Yeah, DK can't rotate over. Just down to Denza, 1v4. Gets the first, escapes. He had Eric tagged, but as he returns to the battle, it's P7 Notorious who find the win and now are on map point trying to put him back to back.
Yeah, Omen just taking too many risks. I don't think I've ever seen someone play that spot that Ethan was trying to get away with. 10 seconds into the round. All you were doing is scouting around the middle of the map. You were gifting them free first bloods, gifting them early advantages. You're not making them work extremely hard in these early rounds. Snoopy keeps on taking all the space away. And every time they know that they have the advantage, they're setting an extra gun for the fights in towards 10, consistently having so many rounds in a 4v2. And now P7 at game point.
Yep. Onto the defensive side they will go. Beans was able to put the pressure on with the scope by watching through small last time around. He will do it again this time. Connects onto Ethan. Aspect trying to push forward. Not going to find anything there. Denza now the last one left. Clean from P7 Notorious. 2 maps in a row with some conviction on top of that. And the friends and family in white and gold love what they're seeing.
And Eric Boom starting to come to life. I was able to catch him yesterday in the hotel lobby. I said, Boom, make sure you get some good rest because tomorrow is going to be an absolute masterclass of a series. Obviously, it didn't go the way that you wanted to in the beginning of this one, but P7 have sprung to life. 2 maps in a row. 2 dominant maps in a row, especially with just how much pressure they had on the map and how much map control they had with those ARs. You're taking these SMG playmakers out of the equation, and you're consistently keep on fighting in this series.
Yeah, I mean, it just immediate payoff to that for all you numbers people out there. Ethan, who has a 2.3 plus KD in search, 4 and 8. Not quite able to get things going, and a lot of that is 3 first bloods that get thrown onto him. So again, you talk about that. I mean, realistically, you can even take Aspect into consideration. Another SMG player for a mid, 4 first deaths. So the SMG's not able to create the same space they were in Sake, and that's what we're talking about. The lengthier we got into this best of 7, the more the ARs could come to play, and for the side of P7 Notorious, they absolutely have.
And this is where that experience that you were talking about earlier, Al, is finally showcasing itself for P7 Notorious. They have been in situations like this. They have been tested versus some of the best in the world. And even with their backs against the wall, they're not willing to give up and die. They have been able to come to life. Back-to-back maps. Now putting the pressure onto Omen because they were thinking, all right, with the way that we won the first 3, we should guarantee the 4th. But now you're feeling a little bit more pressure than you wanted to have.
Without question. And it's just, we have had so many like very stock storylines when you talk about younger players, cracked out POVs, embracing the Omni movement, the wall bouncing, the speed, the time to kill with the NPC, all the things that build a puzzle that starts to look like, yes, this guy could be the future. But as we start to look into the lengthier parts of this series and we start to rely on good macro gameplay, good decision making, good responsibility of zone of control with ARs, that's where you start to see the vets come to life. And just to kind of throw a little bit of a hang over the top of this year to next year, that's a conversation we're all going to be having because IW is going to make a game that is way different than this one. So all of these really fun cracked out POVs may not necessarily dominate to the same level as what we're seeing right now, which is good, cool, calm, controlled COD from P7 Notorious.
Yeah, there's no Omni movement in the next title, man. No wall bouncing, no slide canceling. It's going to be a totally different game when you talk about next season, but P7 is still worried about this one. We're down 0-3. B-Sport Josh back on the main, letting them know what the game plan is, what they love to do on a map like Exposure. But these guys have all been in the CDL before. They have all been tested. And now just got to keep on managing to stay alive in this one. One more map to force the Game 7.
I'm going to make a call right here. Player to watch. Not Beans, not Johnny for P7 Notorious. I need to see some IG yelling from Eric Boom. I need him calling and calming where people get lost at. He needs to be active in the comms to try to figure out where exactly a mid are, count your numbers, count your names, because as soon as Ethan gets lost, that could create chaos. On the other side, if he can really quarterback a good game here, Snoopy could get lost and create so much havoc. We've seen it a lot in challenges.
I feel like I can compare Eric Boom's gameplay or game style a little bit towards Dylan Envoy.
I like that call.
Just like the brains of the team, the pressure guy, the guy that's always going to be thinking about the objective first. And on a map like Exposure, we've seen Envoy all year long. Whenever he pops take over there, it's extremely easy. So your SMG objective-minded player could definitely do the same exact thing if you are P7. Monsters being consumed, energy at an all-time high. Communication is flowing for both squads.
Have to be still in control here. If you're P7 Notorious trying to put off what could be an epic reverse sweep. With a Hacienda search still lingering for map number 5, that's all bets off the table.
You remember what Boston was like last year?
Yes, sir.
Purge and Snoopy on Hasi? He's looking forward to hopefully getting there.
The series far from over, considering how we started it. 2 convincing maps back-to-back for P7 Notorious. Can they find a way to get to map number 7? Or, we'll admit, you showcased some masterful overload in map number 3 on Den. But they put that same style together here in Exposure and just run up the score.
And P7 cannot allow those chain effects to continue to go down. We need to be able to stop the bleeding. Forfeit some scores, play resets. Don't give Omen opportunities, chances at relays. And this is a perfect break off so far for P7. 3 for none, make it all 4 dead. Space being cleared out. Spawn so far away from Omen. This should lead to a guaranteed score, but a stun is gonna connect. It's gonna slow them down a little bit. Not gonna change anything. P7 are here. It's a flawless 8-0 for the entire Slaying department.
And look what they've done to the spawns. They can rotate from A to the backside of B. The only player in their way is DK. And you get a kill from the pinch. That one's just down to what Snoopy can do, and Snoop has arrived. Oh! 5-0 start for Snoop and P7. In the first 45 seconds have scored twice, and Boom is saying, I'm not done.
We're instantly calling in this hellstorm. You know your teammates are off the respawn and are going to be outnumbered. So the reset is going to be outdoors, and that's going to allow Eric Boom to continue to slay. 2 kills go their way. Snoopy clearing out space over towards the A objective, but he gets cut down by Ethan. At least it allows you some space to work off the respawn.
Oh, but Johnny, I was going to say he has a chance to rotate
1v1.
back to the middle of the map as Beans has the 1v1 over the top, but there will be a couple of close spawners, and Beans, who's low, will value his life. Wait for help to develop through the middle of the map. Denza, DK, find a couple of trades. Snoopy still putting the pressure on, and P7 can still threaten the CMP down low.
Oh, Eric Boom is finessing. Almost gets the better of Ethan there, but Ethan's going to turn that into a double. Now 3 kills go the way of Omen. You're thinking this might have been the opportunity to potentially get a score, but it's Benjamin Beans. Locates 3, retrieves the EMP, and is just going to put it on their side of the map.
Nade's already coming over the top. Quick follow-up as Ethan was trying to just reclaim the space, but he gets punished. Now the flank open for Snoopy, but Denza fills the gap. Beans still alive, still holding onto the EMP. And now it's on to Amit. Try to play recovery, but they're not really doing it all that well together. And now finally the EMP will drop. P7 still trying to hang this position, and Snoopy gets the double-digit kills in the first quarter of this map. And with the follow-up on to Johnny, now you can grab and try to run this forward.
Just got to go because Snoopy's already cleared out all this space. He's guaranteeing the back line. That's 1 kill. That's 2 kills. All 4 again. P7 have come to life at the perfect time in this series. 2.5 left to go in the half, and they only need 1 more score to cut it shorter.
And keep an eye, once again, what's happening on the scoreboard. Where are the SMGs for Amit? They're nowhere to be found. Eric keeping the play alive through mid.
Oh my
goodness
gracious.
He will get there, and that is one of the fastest halves of exposure overload you will see.
It all starts with the break-off. A clean 4 dead turns into an instant score. You hit the rotation, control the spawn a certain way. Took less than 3 minutes of gameplay for them to get that half done early. P7 off the back of Snoopy doing things like that. Goes early on streaks, allows Eric Boom to pick up an early Hellstorm. And you just never gave Omen an opportunity to even think about a score.
Exactly the way you wanted to see it.
Oh yeah.
ARs kick you off. Free space up for Snoop, and he goes on an unreal first half. Top of the second, Denza needs to get it going. 2 and 10, hasn't had much of a chance.
They're going
back, and look at this, just a quick pickup. Only 1 kill's come through, and Eric's already almost able to get over towards A, but okay. Able to breathe just a touch there for a bit, because you let that one go through, you're already mentally checked.
Yeah, just 1 extra second. If Snoopy could have been a little bit quicker on that pitch, Eric Boom would have got score number 5. But I'm hoping to turn this into a corner is going to be Omen. Trying to overwhelm with the pressure over at the A point, but you can't get past Snoopy. The Frog is leaping, locating the final player onto Aspect. Not able to get the kill, but Omen do not have a play now.
Johnny on 3 in a row, shuts down Denza coming off spawn. DK scrambling, trying to get there. Off the reach at Johnny, able to find a lot of tags. DK can't challenge. EMP carrier though will fall. Pistol now for Johnny, who's able to get to 4 in a row before eventually being shut down. Snoop over the middle of the map.
1v1.
Oh goodness, 1v1 off the reach and not quite able to find the kill. And the Amit defense will hold.
Amit just need to get a couple sequences to go their way. We need to fight out of our spawn. But every time you take 2 steps, it's someone from P7 watching that crossfire. Another 4 dead in the feed. 1 player in Denza does get 1 off the respawn, but it's DK who hits the route and at least catches the EMP down in the middle of the map.
It's just Amit continuing to play off their heels though. Cannot get beyond really the 40-yard line. They haven't even gotten past the middle of the map. Snoopy, another double in the back line. EMP picked up, Denza shuts it down, has a chance to grab of his own, and maybe a chance here. He's going to get info that Snoopy's behind the play. He's going to have help over towards the top side of Solar. But Denza's going to be held. Nade stuns all coming over the top. DK for first blood. Johnny just trying to hold the corners. DK gets a second. Denza a chance to score. Trying to force it forward and is able to get there for the opening score here for Amit.
And now if you are Omen, you still have Solar control, so you can quickly turn this into score number 2. DK on 4. Can he turn it into 6? That might lead to a capture. Kill number 5 is secure, but he quickly falls to the hands of Snoopy. Aspect trying to pick up the pieces, but this is where P7 have called in the reinforcements. Everyone with MPCs and M15 get the stop.
Quick rotation for P7 Notorious back through mid. Ethan trying to meet it, match it, best it. Not going to happen. EMP now makes his way over towards Dirt. Aspect will fall. A couple of defenders still in place here, though, for a minute. They're able to find Beans. Trades continue to be a nuisance, though, as P7 Notorious just continue to keep Amit held back.
There's no need to take any more risks. You have so much of a comfortable lead. Are you just going to force Omit to look for you, to check every single corner and allow that game clock to keep on ticking? But it's Denza on the pinch. Finds a double. Johnny is currently slaying your teammates over towards Statue. You maybe want to set up that pinch, but he does it. And now this is going to turn into a score here for P7.
Yeah, it's going to be Beans just trying to sprint forward and gets there just before the kill comes out for DK. 5-1 the count. Finally, a bit of a kill feed to work with, but it doesn't make a difference because you still have one more lurking member for P7 Notorious to keep Amit a little bit further away from this EMP. Johnny follows up. Nice long-range shots onto all players for Amit. He almost gets himself a quad feed, but instead will just settle for 3 plus the EMP.
Yeah, he knows where the last guy is. Let me just send in Snoopy, who is 26-12. Dominating with this NPC. 1:30 left to go. Game clock is about to be out of the picture. This map is about to be out of the picture if Omid don't spring to life, but every time they try to take a risk, they're just not winning these key gunfights. Off the rotation, P7 at the A objective. Beans is gonna fall, but Johnny, you might as well commit because the EMP is still on their side of the map.
And you still have Eric behind this, trailing the play, able to turn it into 2. EMP in hand. Denza trying to chase it. Eric's gonna find 3. The reload will eventually be what falls, as Beans will keep the Dirt control for P7. We're down to do or die time for a minute with only 50 seconds on the clock in a 4-point game.
Yeah, it's GG. You have to grab this CMP and score, get every single kill possible for you to even stand a chance, but P7 backs against the wall. We're down 0-3 in this series. 3 straight maps out of some experienced players, some former pros on that main stage. They're going to be able to force this game 7. Omid thinking, all right, this should be done. We're probably going to set up a celebration early on, but P7 are not going to give it up. We're going an extra map.
Absolute dominance in response to the openers from Omid. And if what the first 3 maps were handled and dominated by the SMGs, it's been nothing but AR action for the most part for P7 Notorious, and Snoopy says thank you for the free space. I can just do what I do best. 33-14 for Snoop. Maybe more in the last 30 seconds as P7 are looking to keep the pain involved, but there we go. Time limit gets reached, 6-1 the count. P7 tie us up.
And Johnny's letting them know who's breaking now. Oh, man, we're thinking they were so close to the finish line. All they needed one map, and they could have enjoyed the rest of their championship Sunday with a breath of fresh air, with some extra money in their pocket. But the vets, the experienced players, did not roll over. They fought tooth and nail, map after map after map, and have now got the gunnies hot, have got the mental hot. And it's all you need is a game 7 to have it all the way you want it to be.
And it's on Hacienda. Again, the long-standing duo. Whenever you find Beans and Eric and Challengers at the same time, they find each other. You also got to keep in mind Beans and Snoop, a lot of familiarity with one another. And almost like the Falcon story, now you get Johnny in the mix who can be a little bit more flexible as an AR. It frees up Beans to kind of be a little bit more locked in. And all of that long-range pressure is starting to really influence the impact and reduce that impact from its SMG presence, which again has been what they've used to take over a lot of series.
It's crazy to see, like, this is how we're starting our championship series.
Sheesh.
Or championship Sunday. This is just the Challengers Finals, ladies and gentlemen. We have the Pro CDL Finals Optic B phase coming up later on today. But a game 7 to start, and I'm probably thinking that it's going to be a game 9 later on.
A little bit of foreshadowing from my boy Jay right here. We're going to head to one more break. Hacienda coming up, and I'm just going to say it. If the first 3 were SMG maps, the last 3 may have been AR maps, Hacienda straight square up. Let's see how things unfold as we get to map number 7 in our Challengers Finals on the backside of the break.
Let's find out who's built for the big save. The Heretics ready to dive in. Fights two. Four and Snoopy. Wipes them all. But Hydra with the switch impossible. He's making top room. So damn happy. It's Sykes. Down a bruiser. Dominance on the grandest stage.
Heavy in the pack cause I know they gon' foul. I'ma need months now. Getting to the back like pow, pow. Thought I wouldn't, but tie down. Heavy in the pack cause I know they gon' foul. I'ma need months now. Getting to the back like pow, pow. Thought I wouldn't, but tie down. Did you say I'm bad, but the streets say I'm good. I'ma go hard as I could. Don't ever get it misunderstood. I'ma apply pressure like Did you say I'm bad, but the streets say I'm good. I'ma go hard as I could. Don't ever get it misunderstood. I'ma apply pressure like
They going hard, but I'm going hard. That's for my son and my daughter. Hit the valet, tell them go bring the car.
Welcome back there, friends. I know a lot of you guys starting to come on in, get yourself well hydrated. Looking forward to the CDL Championship Grand Final, but we've got a Map 7 Giga reverse sweep potentially on the cards right here. Word up to Minnesota, it's never chalked. It's 3-3 after 3 dominant maps from Amit. All of a sudden, P7 Notorious keep them at arm's reach, start to put down the pressure of their own, and a Hacienda surge is what we have left to crown champ.
There's no better words in sports, and in this case, esports, than Game 7.
True.
And the fact that P7, with their backs against the wall, were able to chain 3 wraps in a row, steal the momentum heavily now going into this final map. Omid, hopefully the conversations that they were able to have through that little break put them in a position to lock back in, because experience is starting to play a part. And this is one map to decide our champion.
I mean, legitimately, just to give you the spark notes here, Colossus, Sake, Den, SMGs ran over P7 Notorious. First Bloods were dominant, largely thanks to Ethan and Aspect getting forward. Then all of a sudden, you jump on in to a Fringe. Everything's held back. Being's able to get the scope out. You First Blood, Aspect and Ethan, pretty much in every single one of the 8 rounds that we had, and then the ARs just start to take over through that point. So does that storyline define what happens here in Hacienda? Hard to say, because both sets of weapons are going to have chances to develop a play that could lead towards success, whether it's running things down through things like Fire Hallway with SMGs, or you can stay back, try to play the window battle with ARs. Be interesting to see if it's a rock, paper, scissors battle between these two teams.
Yeah, this is going to be one of those maps that's going to be a little bit difficult for Beans to whip out that sniper. So from what Omid can stand their ground on is their pressure, their aggression with their SMGs. On a map like Hasi, you can set the tone. You can take the map control in the first 5 to 10 seconds. So hopefully, even though they have lost those last 3 maps, they stay as confident as ever in this final map to try to get this one done.
Other side of things, again, the experience versus the more rookie nature of this battle could come into play. Soften that up just a touch, because when Ethan makes his mark on the scene, it largely comes by way of just grinding search and destroy tournaments. So he's not unfamiliar with being in positions that look like this. But to the other point, players like Beans, players like Snoopy, lots of buildup from when they played Hacienda Search under the Boston Breach banner. So which will happen? Will breakers break? Will champions continue to be crowned? That's kind of what the storyline is. Let's get going. Here we go. P7 Notorious submit Hacienda map 7. Let's do it.
We're instantly fighting for secret hallway control. Or they're not going to contest anyone through the top middle of the map, but it's being with so much information gained that P7 are now going to hit that rotation over towards the opposite side.
I love this little push and pull early for P7. Force there to be tough decisions, especially for the SMGs to make as they rotate back over. But they're going to quickly get over towards the shingles. Johnny looking for the plant, actually. Doesn't get the gun up in time. Eric, AR in hand. Going to try to get things through. Here come all the nades and stunts. It's mid, trying to play retake, trying to contest to find the first 2 kills. So Snoopy's still alive and kicking until eventually being taken down. And Beans, who was outside of the play, now has to work a 1v3.
And we trapped over towards Garage. But he knows he has to work his way back over towards Rock. Omid have the info. Bomb is going to be down. This round is 5% chance of him clutching it.
Yeah. Less than that. Clean. And it's one of those moments, again, just to kind of throw it out there, get the mental chess game building. That's a tough decision right there for Omid. No trophies. They have full setup, round water, and over towards checkers if you're P7 Notorious. You're forcing the gunfight to contest, and the decision works out.
Yeah, and that's a good tone setting around there from Omid. Completely disregard the last couple of maps and come out with the pressure. You take away that A-bomb site, you force the rotation on the hand of P7. And right when they think, all right, it's time to get this planted, you turn that corner with the full force. Opening round Omid.
Just a single kill for Snoopy on that initial battle towards B. The mid on the attack. Tossing some early nades on both sides of the map. And Ethan will be the vanguard of this approach if it does commit to B.
And this is a play call that you're not going to be expecting if you're RP7. Omid are actually taking this slow and steady approach. Spread map setup. P7 give them any information to work with. It's already been 30 seconds and they do not show face.
This is what you're looking at, P7. We're opting to just control the secret hallway, but now that you don't have info towards B, you're starting to search out the map. But this is all a ruse. This is nothing more than a red herring from Ethan, because the bomb is not a part of this play. So you're looking for maybe another pick before making a decision, but hold on a second. Just when you thought it may have just used this as a fake, now they're going to take a delayed timing to rewrap this back, and they're going to get a 4v3 post play.
I think DK from Spiral Fest is able to spot out Johnny crossing back over towards A. Omid going to try to commit on this bomb plan, but Eric Boom gets the angle. It's going to be a 3v3, but bomb gets down.
And if you're mid this post play, you have to worry about 3 things here. The front, open hall, and the backside of Lambo.
And no trophies.
And no trophies. Aspect shut down. Opening kills come through. Denza using a lot of this clip to try to find the opening kill, but Beans able to follow behind this. DK able to get one, but nothing more. What a retake for P7. Shout out Eric Boom for seeing both on the cross and making life difficult for the post plant.
It just took too long, man, and trying to commit on bomb plants without trophy systems at that rock is extremely difficult to hold down that positioning around that area, because stuns and nades are going to back you out. That's going to force you to be in a spot that you don't want to be, because eventually someone has to be able to peek that bomb. But perfect execution there from P7, perfect patience. Wait for all your teammates to get around before we commit on these one-on-ones. And the retake is good enough even in the 3v4 to tie the game.
Really, really good response. And just kind of keep that in the back of your mind here, that P7 Notorious opting to really invest into defending secret, putting all the resources up there. And if you're familiar and remember back to Snoopy and the Boston Breach, he was often playing that spot. So something to kind of keep in mind on. Johnny looking to get aggressive over through open windows. He's got ARs watching over the top of him, but cannot get the gun up in time for the play over through the open staircase. Snoopy repinching from behind those with a find 1, but the numbers good for a in the initial trade battle, and Snoopy's going to commit for the plant on a 1v2.
I love this from Snoop.
Same.
Going to get this instantly planted. He's just going to get out over towards the boathouse. He has a stun and a nade to work with, but I'm pretty sure Aspect spots him.
Sure seems that way. First kill comes through, splits away, has a chance at the second, but not enough ammunition to fully take the gunfight, and Aspect puts away the heroics early.
It's just a blind counter again there from Omid. You're thinking if you're P7, let's take open hallway control. We got trophy system going into this round, so if we can get over towards Rock, if we can dominate top mid, it's going to be a free round. But Omid with a perfect blind counter, 2-2 split. They take away Rock, they set up those crossfires, and they are effective on the traits, at least Snoopy as the last one. But thankfully, Aspect is able to spot him. Thankfully, he's able to re-snap onto Snoop. He almost pulled that 1v2 out of nowhere, but Omit, keep a 1-round lead.
On to their second attack. As we talked about, keep your eye on P7 set up defensively. A lot of investment towards getting secret control. This time, though, it will just be Eric up top playing for info. He's not going to expect that aspect of playing with this aggression. That's that SMG rundown that we've seen for a bit. Ethan's able to find two, diving on over to find Snoop through the connector, but he gets one, gets away. Could he find a way to keep his life? Yeah, Johnny's going to help out. Oh, a little bit of an overcommitment into the red dot chase for a bit. Has us in a 2v2.
Yeah, that's fantastic finesse out of Snoopy. It was a 4v2 to start, but now it's a 2v2, and Omen have no idea where he just went. 50 seconds left to go. Denza playing his spawn, relying on what DK can provide for him before he decides to make his move.
Johnny and Snoopy going to work together. DK just looking for any information. Denza playing very safe.
Timing.
Oh, mercy. Oh, he's not going to see the one that crosses, so his focus is going to be on the Johnny. Good tags coming through. Snoop holds his position, though. Now there's information for both. DK able to find lots of damage, and flash shot on the Snoopy connects. He knows he's got Johnny low. Trying to find the 1v1, but Johnny gets damaged. Just not enough. And DK will save a potential catastrophe in a minute. Are now up 3-1.
Almost wasting the entire minute and 30 on the round. But it's DK who's still able to clutch it on up. I thought COD timing was not about to go his way. The fact that he turns and gathers information onto the first, puts down so many shots with the M15. And he's got an NPC to close out the wallbang onto Snoop. Denza putting him on to Johnny, having him weak. The cleanup clue flies on in, Omit 2-round lead.
Now P7 have to find a way to get an offensive of their own. It's been largely all defensive rounds in the first quarter. Investment for Amit. Same setup that they had for the last round. P7 not interested in taking the window battle. Instead, will set themselves up for a quick post plant over at A.
Get your trophy system down, play tight around this setup. So Omit are already showing face in towards Secret Hall. He's just gonna jump out. No remorse, no regard for human life. Gonna try to fly out and get the second, but number still for P7.
Huge trade for Beans because Eric was playing a delayed route up top at window for this post plant. That works out really nicely. Initially, you're like, uh-oh, this is not what you want to see. Ethan sneaking down, finding a first blood. But by himself, he can only do so much. And Eric, the whole time, playing secret stairs, he was supposed to be the clutch-up guy, and he comes through big after Beans' trade.
So far, a lot of these rounds have led to success for Omit because they're sending a full force every single time and having that extra gun. When you get towards the middle half of the search and destroy, that's when those mid-round adjustments start to come on in. So we need to start to play for information instead of potentially instant gunfights. You still have the lead, but P7 continue to cut it on down. On the defensive side, they go. Omit doing a 2-2 split. Another fill-out round for them.
This feels very similar to the round we just had before. Where Ethan's going to get forward, try to create some noise. Denza just making sure no one plays through well. DK making sure no one playing through bottom secret. But P7 this time around are saying this is the exact same set that they had from the round prior as well, where you just get Snoopy up top at secret. You're just setting yourself up for a B retake.
You're forfeiting all that map control on that side of the map. Stun is able to connect onto Denza. Some information gained here for P7 that there is going to be some players over at the archway. It's already been 40 seconds gone. Omit are relying on a hero ball play here from Ethan.
Absolutely. The only way they break through this P7 setup right now is if they get good timing from Ethan. Here comes the pressure. Johnny working with Beans and Snoopy. Everything's going to come up in favor of P7 setup. I mean, the only way you counter that if you're a mid is you plant. And you just get a read that no one's at B. We plant. We force them to come to us. But P7, they must have something in store for that retake. Here comes the late plant trophy down 2v4.
Oh, 2v4. They're actually going to invest this trophy. So a lot into this round. You're still going to be outnumbered, and you're still not going to stand a chance here. That's a trophy placement for no apparent reason. And that could potentially come back to bite you, especially on your next attacking round.
Absolutely the case. And then again, just keep in mind that frame of a mid are looking for kills first before they do anything objective-wise.
Yeah.
And that's going to have to start to mold and change, because if P7 continue to just play that same setup, they've got everything covered. The only thing that beats them is bad timing, which you can't really control, or you don't get a good read on their post plant. So defensively speaking, P7's got a really solid default right now.
Yeah, it worked for Omen on a map like Sake, where you could just force gunfight after gunfight. But if P7 aren't going to give you anything to work with, we have to take what they're giving. all that space at Rock. Just get it planted and eventually get your trophy down, but it's 2 rounds in a row. P7 tied up.
Here we go, another 4-man flood for Amit. No pressure shown over towards the top windows. If P7 can get a read, nothing's up towards A, they're now going to get the full-on setup that, yep, there's the full hit around the back. And this time the response just a little bit too late. Snoopy will get the plant. This comes down to, does he have the heroics to follow up another 2v4 chance?
It's all going to be on what Johnny can get done. Nothing through mid-connector. Snoopy left in a 1v4. Omid, don't waste any time. You have 4 bodies alive. Someone stake the defuse.
This is the only play he can make, is to play this over through window. And he's been seen on the cross. Smoke will force his hand. And Amit will put together, again, just another bullheaded brute force hit to work out to take the ledge 4-3.
Yeah, P7 knew that they were doing that play. It's just some bad COD timing for the first step out of Beans, and then a bad auto mantle there from Eric Broom to potentially get that trade and get out. That's the way that Omid wants to play. You send in your SMG Slayer in Ethan to always be the aggressor. He flies on in. Beans turns the corner at the wrong time. Gets the first blood, and then boom, just not able to hit the snap because there's too many in front of him. Ethan just continues to run it down.
And that's a tough moment right there for Eric, because you're kind of halfway in the play, and it's like, do I try to respond and get one back, or do I even have a chance to run away and keep it 3v4? We'll pause on that question as the next hit starts to develop over towards Rocket. It's Johnny and Snoopy for the first couple, but Ethan's able to respond. This will be a 1v3 for him. Stun comes through, he's able to slip away, but not fully. Wallbang connects, and a quick response for P7 with some aggression of their own.
Blow for blow, round after round, these guys are not willing to give them any free ones. All tied up at 4. A perfect blind counter there from P7.
Think about it this way, because like we were talking about, if you're Amit, you know that that setup over towards Secret's hard to break. So the only way you beat it is by flooding B. And P7 Notorious get a perfect read saying, we know they're going to play for a quick objective. Let's beat them. And Johnny, with the first 2, tilts the edge to P7.
Yeah, and that's one of those setup rounds. You take away, like you said, secret control every single time. There's a screw to slow plays. Let's just bombard it over towards B. And that's exactly what P7 wanted you to do, but Omid going back to the strat that just worked for them. Everyone through mid open.
Don't throw the same pitch twice. Eric this time with a stun. Gets enough information to recognize that this is a potential call. Meanwhile, Beans is already opening up space over the top of the rock wall. So you're going to get a post plant set up here if you want it for P7. Johnny looking to take away a little bit of space, but just get a little bit over aggressive. First blood for a bit. Post plant still effective for 3v4.
That's a high risk, high reward play. Johnny just gets caught, and now Ethan going to continue to find kill after kill. Another 2-piece on this round, 4v2. Beans trying to clutch on up.
Good first.
Locates Aspect, 2v3.
Able to clear more space out through fences. Up towards the windows. Gets shots, but they haven't enough the shots to land for a kill. So now it's just down to Eric. Cannot see the diffuser. Shots are not going to land. DK puts Omid at championship point.
What's so difficult right there for P7 is the fact that the bomb carrier is as far as he was from that bomb. Because Eric Boom with a fantastic stun connects onto 3 people through open. Just your bomb carrier couldn't instantly put it down as soon as that stun connects. Just so far out of the play. By the time you commit, you try to take a risk if you are Johnny, just to guarantee some space. Thinking that Eric Boom's information is still going to be good enough to work with. But Omid's so fast on the rotation. Put themselves at game point.
What do you call in this round if you're Amit? You tried the hard aggression at B, it gets blind countered. You've had no success, largely speaking, over to A. So this time you're going to go over towards the rooftops. And wouldn't you know it, P7, we're playing reserve with Beans on a scope. Eric able to find first blood damage go on to Ethan. Tried to follow through that. Goodness, that was bold from Denza. Ethan going to be stunned behind this play, followed up by Eric Boom. And it's just down to DK. He's stuck over towards fences, and we're going to get a map 7, round 11 for the championship.
Perfect adjustment there from P7. Do not try to contest the aggressive plays. Eric Boom, instead of the NPC, has an M15 watching secret hallway. Gets the first blood, sets up Snoopy for the trade. Teamwork shining when you need to have it. But it's round 11 for it all.
What are we going to get, Vegas? 4-map reverse sweep from P7 Notorious, or will Omid cement themselves as the greatest challengers organization in the history of the esport? 4 straight grand finals, it would be 3 championships for the org. and it's going to be the offense for Amit. Stunts, nades, all littering the front play over towards Well, and a couple of nades will, in fact, get a reveal. P7 will have a chance to respond defensively.
What kind of timing is Johnny going to play with? He's going to turn that corner in towards Archway. Teammates applying pressure from the front, but it's Johnny going to commit. He gets the first, but it's still a 3v3.
Trying to force the battle, though, with Snoopy. He gets punished by Aspect. And Eric, I believe, has been seen up top. Good shots from Aspect, but he can't find the kill. 2v3. Denza clearing the space. Up top, able to find the win on the beats. Just down to Eric Boom. 1v3. Denza off the regen. Not going to be able to get out of there. And Amit will stop the reverse sweep. It's 4 straight Challengers finals for the Amit organization, and they will be crowned champions for the 3rd time.
So icy in the round 11 with the play call. That A-bomb site has not treated them well all throughout that map. But it is the teamwork aspect of the game. It's the commitment there from Omid to die on their sword. The reason why they got to this position is with their aggression. You send it all out. Even with Johnny getting the first, you're so fast on the trade. And just a little bit overcommitted there was P7 to try to get the guns to go back to their way. But Omid don't allow the reverse sweep. They continue to be the best team in Challengers. And they are your champions here at COD Champs.
Major 4 champs, Season 4 Elite champs in Europe, and now the crown jewel. Able to take down what has been a bit of a rival in P7 Notorious, org to org over the last couple of years. But this is, you know, as much as you look at Amit as an organization, you give them all the flowers you possibly can. You still have to keep in mind that Ethan was flipping off of the side of Rocket League arenas a couple of months ago. DK just got into the scene this year. Aspect, who has made it to Challengers playoffs for 3 straight years, is able to find himself on top. And Denza, the guy who's been there, done that, leads the way and takes the Young Guns to a championship.
It's got to feel so good for the Omid organization. 3 out of 4 in the last 4 years have gone their way. Ali providing the medals. Aspect did his thing. Ethan, without a doubt, was my MVP.
I agree.
When you get to that final round is when experience has to play a part. Denza with the multi-kill. Denza with the experience puts his team in a position to close it on out. And Omid got to be feeling so damn good.
What an unbelievable run. Vegas, let's hear it. Your Challengers champions, Omid.
I mean, what a matchup that was. Going down to the distance, 7 maps. Come on, Vegas. I know that was intense. One more time for your Challengers champions, the best, Omid. DK, talk to me about how does it feel to win this? But firstly, I want to know, like, what was going on through your head as they were coming back and they sent that to map 7? Because you guys look so good through the first 3.
I mean, we showed up with composure. I think we played really well. They just got the better half of us in the end, but yeah, we stayed strong and we got the victory.
Yes, you guys definitely did stay strong right there. Show some love to DK, everybody. I want to move on down here over here to Ethan, because Ethan, man, you have been playing out of your mind the last few events in which you've entered this league. And many people in here know about your game across the board, okay? Now, how does it feel from you going to scoring goals to being here on the Challengers main stage at Champs and coming away with a victory?
I mean, it feels surreal. Coming from Rocket League, being pro in that game, to now playing COD at a very, very high level, it feels amazing. I'm happy to be here, and I deserve to be here. I'm better than everyone here.
He deserves it, everybody. You earned that, Ethan, for sure. Now, let me move down the line, okay? I got Aspect. Aspect, love the drip. I love the shot. I love the composure that you had there. I mean, it was a nerve-wracking matchup. How does it feel to win?
I mean, it feels unreal. Like, I mean, it's sweeter now that we like almost got reverse swept and we ended up winning it at the end. So it feels much better, you know. Like, sigh of relief.
Definitely is a sigh of relief indeed. But now you get to call yourselves a Challenger champion on the main stage here, okay? Make some noise for Aspect, everybody. Now, I got an OG next to me, okay? Somebody who's been in the game for a while. Denza, you've been in some crazy series of your life. How does this one rank up?
It's got to be number 1, I think. My heart's still going, but, you know, we pulled through. It was the last map for 15K each, so we set that before the map, so we regained and won it. So
You guys definitely did regain, okay? And now, going into the last round, this is a $60,000 round. Who made the strat call?
I mean, I was like, I'm shitting myself here. Let's play slow. And he said, let's just hit A, man. And we hit it, and yeah, Johnny scammed, and we got trades off that, and yeah.
Hey, man, you guys did what you had to do, being there for each other, being there for the trades as well. Slide on down for me, Denzel, real quick. Slide on down too as well, Coach. Now, I want to talk to you about what does it mean for this Omit roster? What does it mean for you and the rest of the boys of this Omit roster to be able to win in this fashion, but not only that, to be as consistent as this organization has been throughout challenges?
Well, I think there's a reason I'm bold, and it's watching these series. It's never going to be an easy one, but it was always going to go around 11 last map. I think I can't take all the credit. Ben Bant's back at home. Shout out to him. Shout out to Mosen. They're the brains behind the team. I'm just the pretty face that comes out with them. But no, congratulations to the lads. Consistent team, great talent. You'll see them in the future.
You'll definitely see them in the future, all right? Now, any last words that you want to say to the Omit fans out there as we going to crown you guys one more time as the Challengers champions?
I think the boys just appreciate all the support from everyone back at home, all the tweets, they hear everything, so appreciate all the support and on TweetMUC.
You heard it here, folks, all right? No matter where you are around the world, show some love to Omit coming out on top as your Challengers champions.
All right, Omit Takeover. That's the name of the game. It's been that way since the brand has entered. 4 straight Grand Finals appearances for the brand. This one with a fresh set of faces. And Jay, I think the most exciting part about it is we know that these guys are going to show up at EWC, and I'm going to say it right now, they're going to upset somebody big.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they can do versus the top in the world, man, because what they just displayed throughout this entire weekend is utter dominance. This is the most maps they lost in one series. You go through Telluride Bush, you go through your brother in squad in Omit Brooklyn, you face P7 in the winners finals, you get it done in 4, but then you get to the last dance, have the rematch, and make this one a little bit better. Aspect says, all right, even though we were up 3-0, 4-0 would have been cool, but the fact that we go all the way to around 11, game 7, it feels a little bit better. That organization, the system that they have provided for every single player that has ever walked in the building, chef's kiss out of Omit.
Love it. Big congratulations to Omit. P7 Notorious have also cemented a spot at EWC, and so have Team War. One of the other squads that miss out will have a chance through LCQ. But the day so far owned by Omit. But of course, that's not all we're here for. We've got FaZe taking on Optic for the Call of Duty League World Championship Grand Finals, and that is coming up next.
Traza closes the game, goes on an incredible streak, and FaZe are into the grand final.
Optic trying to get their rematch. They're trying to get to the last dance versus FaZe again.
Can they pull Axton? Are you kidding me? There's no way that Hook has done that.
We're coming for you, FaZe! We're coming for you!